I think we're good. Hi, hello, everybody. I was going to say hi and hello at the same time. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Hopefully, everybody is doing well and feeling well. Marcos and Dragoon, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you're having a fun day. Day off for you, Marcos. Right, the end of your weekend. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you got to relax and play some cool games and just sit down and not do much. That's always a really good feeling, is to not do much. Started playing a JRPG called Aiden Chronicles. How do you feel about Aiden Chronicles? Is that the new one? Is that the new Aiden Chronicles? How do you feel about it? The story has an interesting start. I feel like when I think that, I don't know if that was the newer one or not. That's the one that's like Suikoden, right? It's supposed to be the sort of spiritual successor to Suikoden 1 and 2. When the new one first came out, I don't know if that it is the new one. When that first came out, there were a lot of people were kind of up in the air. It seemed like some people were, I don't know what it scored, but I think some people were kind of saying it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, or they weren't really sure about it. And it really seemed like a game that, if you had experience with Suikoden, then you were much happier with it than it seemed like a lot of other people were. The issue was the game was a bit buggy. Oh, it was a bit buggy at launch. See, I heard people just weren't really a fan of the game itself, but it seemed like the people who loved Suikoden, they were kind of all over it. And they were like, yeah, this is amazing. Finally started Hades since Side Order made me reconsider roguelikes. This game is very good. Hades is incredible. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I hope I don't spoil too much by saying this. I'm not going to give you any story bits or anything. What I'm going to tell you is, after you finally do the thing that you're trying to do, you have to keep doing it. It's not you do it once and you're done. There's a lot more to do. You could end up playing Hades for a little while, but it's worth it. It's so good. Oh, I know the plot of Hades. I watched it all. Okay. This story has an interesting start. I switched days with someone at work. Oh, I was off Monday and Tuesday. The person I switched with took my days off, and now I'm working 7 days straight. Uh-oh, that's not good. Is that, Marcos, is that just for this week, I'm assuming? Or is Monday and Tuesday your new days off? I'll be honest, Marcos, Monday and Tuesday off kind of sounds awesome, right? Like you have off when everybody else is just this week. You have off when everyone else is miserable about going back to work. Like, I don't know how that impacts your job, or it's more about just being out. You know, you go back, you go out on Monday. Like, let's say your Monday is your day off. No one's anywhere, right? Everybody went to work. There, any of the places that are fun to go, like if you want to go to do something that's entertaining, if you want to go to the movies or something, no one's really there, because Monday is the day that everybody goes back to work. So you get to avoid the Monday and Tuesday misery of everybody just being pissed off that they're back to work. So that's actually pretty good. I kind of like that. I used to say, I used to ask, hey Sims, Merc, what's going on? I used to ask, and I've asked this before here too. If you had a 4-day work week, what day would you rather have off? Would you rather be off Monday or Friday? And, you know, Friday feels like an extension of the weekend, you know, because you already kind of do that, right? You go to work on Friday, and then when you leave, for the people that have the weekend off, you go to work on Friday, and then you leave, and then maybe you go and you do stuff, and it's like the beginning of the weekend right there. So having the actual Friday off is like, oh, now I have the actual whole day, and then I go back to work with everybody else on Monday. Or would you rather have Monday off, since the day that everybody else is all miserable going back to work, you don't have to leave? See, Friday, a lot of people said Friday. And I feel like I was one of the only people that's like, you know what, though? Friday always kind of feels like a weekend day anyway. Friday feels like, and it helps because of my schedule and the hours that I work at my job, but Friday's kind of like tomorrow's Friday. I work, and then I'm off for the weekend. So once I get the work day out of the way, I feel like I'm already in the weekend. And I feel like I'm that with everybody else. You know, let's say that Friday feeling, right? That early weekend feeling. Let's say that happens on Thursday. If you go out and you go hang out with people and it's Thursday night, they have to work tomorrow. So you're limited as to what you can do if you are someone that goes out with your friends. So I kind of like the idea of Friday. Like, I don't want to do anything on a Monday anyway. You know what I mean? So I would rather just wake up on Monday and not have to do anything. To end their work week early. So on Wednesday there are usually gift giveaways. So I get to avoid the busier days of the week of the work week. And Thursdays are dead at the casino. Last night I only made $10 in tips. Wednesday and Thursday benefit me for personal reasons. I get the house to myself and I like, yeah, see, that's good. That's good. What's going on in this room? Should there be something going on in my room? I don't know. My shelf isn't trying to kill me anymore. I don't know if anybody saw that on Twitter yesterday. Somebody talks about 4-day work week instead of 5. I've been wanting that for a long time, and I think that as a society, we're at a point where that's an easy thing to do, is to make a 4-day work week. I always said that if I, for whatever reason, had the ability to make my own schedule, it would be 4 relatively jam-packed days. Like, I would have no problem working 4 10-hour days. 12-hour days, really, depending on what my job is. I'd have no problem working 4 10-hour days. And then 3 days off. I think that would be fine. 4 days in a row, right in a row, I'd be fine. And then 3 days off. That would be the most amazing schedule for me to work. If I could find the job that let me do that, I would do that. I always knew I liked Hades. But Binding of Isaac scared me off of roguelikes until Side Order made me go, oh, was that just a bad one? I didn't play Binding of Isaac. I saw a lot of people playing it, and Johnny did a review on it. The one thing I took away from Binding of Isaac was that as a roguelike, it was very unbalanced, is what I understood. Was if you got lucky and you had good pulls on items and abilities and stuff, it was a very good run, or you could get really unlucky and it was terrible. Like Hades, there were runs where I didn't get the things that I wanted, but I never had anything that I would call a bad run. I never had anything where I said, wow, that combination of stuff was terrible, and that's why I failed. I always failed because I didn't play well enough. And the one thing I heard about Binding of Isaac was that, no, it's not like that. If you get bad RNG, you can't win. Wednesdays are also Nintendo Direct days, so that's just convenient. Well, we've got one coming up in June, supposedly. We did get our first announcement of a video game presentation in June. That's a nice balance. My favorite character in Eden Chronicles is either Saint. I don't know those characters. I don't know who they are. Binding of Isaac is a very pure roguelike. What you get is all you get. Most nowadays you carry. Yeah, that's like a roguelike, like hardcore. You get nothing else. Where nowadays they're all lights, where you do get to keep some power ups. Which, to be completely honest, is kind of my issue with Returnal. Returnal's kind of the same thing. The upgrades and stuff that you get in Returnal are either insignificant or they're upgrades related to the guns that you pick up, but you still have to pick up the guns. It's not like you get mastery upgrades and then, oh, I can start with whatever gun. You know, Hades, you can pick the weapon that you start with. You can't do that. You always start with the same exact pistol in not the same pistol. I think you start with a different overcharge ability in Returnal. And then the weapons you get are still random. Like it's as bad as it sounds to say for a game, like it's a bit too random. It's a bit too random. Not to mention, I also have a problem with the bosses being a bit tanky. Binding of Isaac, very pure. Yeah. Would recording for SGB count as part of your work week? See, you put the Kappa face sims, and I'm gonna say no because that's a very fun thing that I do. But going over there, being over there, coming back home does eat into my day. and it's usually on a Sunday. So it takes me a bit to get over there. It takes me a bit to get home. And then the actual act of being there, doing everything. I can tell you this, when we record an SGB, it's a ton of fun, but it's not relaxing. I don't go over there and leave recharged for the week. I go over there and think, man, I would really like another day off so that I can sit around and do nothing and recharge. I recharge my batteries by doing very little. I sit down, I watch TV. That's how I recharge my batteries. I only started. I'm in a phase of learning how the gameplay works and then where to go as someone who doesn't play JRPGs. Speaking of June, I'm moving in June. Congratulations. I hope you seem happy about moving in June. Sounds about right for Binding of Isaac. I once had a day where I had 10 games in a row of Binding of Isaac where I got no weapons or upgrades in a row. Yeah, that's not fun. That doesn't sound fun to me at all. Also, I'm a big fan of Hades and Side Order's use of the Death Defiant system. Not to mention the artwork in Hades is terrific. There's some great artwork in that game. Visually, that game is just very, very appealing. I'm excited for the second one. I did put in to. I guess I'm not gonna get it. I did put in to get a code, like an advanced code for Hades 2. I guess they're like test codes or something. I didn't get one though, so I don't know if I will get one at some point. But that would be nice. It'd be nice to be able to play that game. The characters are hot in Hades. You're not wrong there. I'm moving out of state country. Not moving out of state country, Every City. Just a much better house in my town. That's fine. That's fine. But most people I know don't move dramatically far away. Most people that I know that move within the same town or one town over. That was also the last day I played Binding of Isaac. Yeah, that's it. That's the day you just drop it. It's a shame, man. I like not Binding of Isaac, but Returnal. Like Returnal, I was so excited to play Returnal, and it just kind of killed it for me. If it was a little bit easier, or if I could pick, you know what would actually help me with Returnal? First of all, if there were more permanent health upgrades, because I don't think that the health upgrades are permanent, and if they are, they're not really significant. I wish that I could set it up to start with no, the raid didn't work. Do I have my alerts off? Hold on. Let me see if I have my alerts off. No, my alerts are on. They should be on. Oh wait, I have them off here. Okay, there. I'm sorry. I had the alert when. Wait, I don't know. Hold on. No, because I didn't get an Ronan. I don't think it worked because I didn't get an alert. In my activity feed, I didn't get one either. Oh, the rate's still counting down. Uh-oh. Hi, Alec. There we go. Ronan in the shadow already with a party of two. Welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. What was I saying? Hades. I was talking about Hades, right? Was I talking about Hades? I don't know. I was talking about Hades. Oh, Returnal. If I could start with whatever weapon, if the idea was that, when you use a weapon, like when you find a weapon and you use it, the more you use it, the more you master it. And then when you master it, you can start the level with whatever weapon you want. That would make Returnal infinitely better. Oh, just doing that would make it better. If you did that and health upgrades or something, then I would say, yes, this is much better to play. That's a shame, man. And apparently there was some news about the game the other day, and I don't know if they said something about a show or a movie or something, but I was kind of hoping they were gonna add like a more traditional gameplay loop through the game with like save points and leveling up or something. I was kind of hoping they would do that. I really wish they would. I know they're not going to go back to the game. I know they're not going to change it, but it's a shame. It would really be nice for them to make that a more traditional game, because I think with a story like it has, I think that would be nice to have in a more traditional experience. Although I guess you can kind of say that about Hades, but Hades, I don't know. I like Hades in the format that it is. Probably because it's also not anywhere near as difficult as Returnal. Did I see the new roadmap? I saw, Ronan, they posted something in their Discord. Let me see this here, because I'm in their Discord. And I saw, here it is. No, wait, is this announcements? Let me see here. Yeah, we have the final roadmap update for you. After too long a wait, we also have the launch dates for the next update that includes Chaos Mode, Versus Mode, and new DLC cosmetic packs. It's update 1.5. May 9th and May 16th for the Switch, which the Switch version was not great. We will be releasing across all regions simultaneously. Blah, blah, blah. So I guess this is the last update for the game, right? This is the last update that they're gonna give to the game. What are these images? Randomizer boss. Is this? Yeah, and here's like an image of the boss of the roadmap, I guess, development for the game. There's a Shantae skin for Miriam. That's kind of cool. I haven't gone back, man. I haven't played Bloodstained since it came out, and I finished it, and I 100%ed it. I was like, yeah, we're done. Cult of the Lamb is also like Side Order, where upgrades mean something and you keep them. But like any roguelike, the wrong loadout will screw you and run. Screw a run, and sometimes the game gives you nothing. You know what my problem, Sims, was with Cult of the Lamb? I've said this before. I liked the town building stuff so much. I found the action sequences of going out into the world and doing stuff, I found that intrusive. I didn't want to do that. I enjoyed the town building stuff so much, aesthetically and just and mechanically, that I didn't want to do. Every time it was time for me to go out and farm materials, I was like, I don't want to do this like an instance. I wouldn't mind, like, if I could just run out and get stuff and then come back, it'd be fine. But every time I went out into the world, it was like an instance where it was a randomly generated zone that I had to complete in order to go back to the town. It was like, can I just go back to the town? I kind of wanted to just keep building things, and I wanted to help my people partially by enslaving them. It was kind of great. Hang on. Hades is more modern. I'm at the last floor of Gauntlet, and I have enough money to buy more max HP and one more God Power. Or one more God Power. Hades has a lot of improvements over old roguelikes. Yeah, and I guess that's my issue, is that roguelikes, when I think about roguelikes, I think of stuff like Binding Isaac, and I give me a light roguelite and I'm fine, and give me some good upgrades and something that makes sense and I'm okay. Because other than that, a roguelike without any upgrades is just an arcade game. That's all it is. It's an arcade game of how far can you get on one quarter. That's what a roguelike is. How far can you get in this arcade experience on one quarter? No, it's not. Oh, there's going to be another update called Classic 2. Okay, so there is one more. Hey, Sean, did you max out all your shards? Get 9 of every shard except for boss shards, which you can't. I don't think I got 9 of every shard. I think I got 9 of the ones that I was using. I did 100% the map, and I did everything as far as what you got to beat. What was the last thing you beat? OD. I beat him, and that was it. That was all there was at the time. And then literally every upgrade after that to the game, every DLC after that, I never went back to play the game. Yeah, the only thing I didn't do was get all the shards. Eating late lunch. Hey, CT. And hi, everybody, if I've not said hello to you. Why do I have to adventure? I'm a good mayor. Opposite for me. I hate the town building, and the action looks fun. And Kia, that's what I thought I was going to feel. I legitimately thought, oh, I'm probably going to really dig the action sequences, and I'm going to find the town building boring. And I ended up kind of being the other way. For the few days that I played it, it was free. It was a free game trial on Nintendo Switch for a while. For the few days that I played it, I would play it and I would think, man, I really don't like the action parts. And I didn't hate the action parts. I just felt like the action part would come up and I wanted to keep building the town. Imagine internet send you to the start of a dungeon or hub world. You wanted more Stardew and less Binding Isaac. No, I think oh, in that situation. Honestly, it's probably less Stardew. I would actually say aesthetically, like because of the graphics, I would say more Stardew, but I felt it was a little bit closer to Animal Crossing, where I had to worry about like where their houses were gonna go. I had to get them furniture and stuff, like do the little quest for them. Stardew was very solitary. That's the thing about Stardew, was that Stardew was very, I have my area, it's all mine. I need to build it up however I want to. Whereas this game, Cult of the Lamb, was more like I have to build a town. I have to make sure that everybody's happy, and I have to, give them the things that I need to give them, or punish them when I need to punish them. So it felt more like that, and I just enjoyed that part of the game. It was so weird because, and I think, and in all honesty, I think that's partially why, because in that type of game, you don't normally get that type of aesthetic, that sort of dark, demonic, that whole vibe that Cult of the Lamb puts out there. You don't get that in a town builder. That would be sick though, right? If you called it, ooh, hold on, I'm cooking up an idea. Okay, it's called Level of Hell, and it's like the, what is it, like Dante's Inferno, like the levels of hell, or it's not circles of hell, right? It's levels of hell. And you are the new demon that is in charge of the first level of hell. So your responsibility is to basically create hey D, hey Dash, your responsibility is it's basically a town builder, and your job is to create the first level of hell. This is the town that people who just get to hell are in. And your job is to decide who gets to stay here and who has to go down into the further levels of hell. Is that what Dungeon Keeper is? Is there a game called Dungeon Keeper that's that? 3 stream streak. Thank you so much, CT. I always wonder what special place. Like special place in hell. Well, that means that you're so bad they've got a room just for you already set up before you even get there. You check out, Honey, I joined a cult and Afterlife if you want a game like that. So team up with Vizopop and make a toe. What's this? Make a toe in hell. Hold on. The CT, that sentence lost me completely. Demon spawn. Demon Crossing. Right? Demon Crossing? I think that's fine. Soul Crossing? Ooh. Not quite. Look up Dungeon Keeper. It's a great game. So sort of, yeah. So something like that. Sakuna from JJK would have his place. Tie-in with Hell of a Boss. Oh, tie-in with Hell of a Boss. Okay, there we go. That makes much more sense. Which I still never went back to watch. I still never finished that. What if you were in charge of building Limbo? Ooh. Dragoon, that's actually pretty good. I like that. If instead of one of the levels of hell, you were in charge of Limbo. See, the problem with Limbo is that it's very plain. Right? It's kind of like, is it fiery brimstone and all suffering? Is it really happy and cheery? It's I love the, Family Guy did a joke like that, where they went to Limbo and they were just sort of floating there, and they're like, oh, is this fun? It's like, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just, it's so-so. Because it's like right in the middle. That, and there's a great Simpsons guy. I love Lisa. There's a joke in the Simpsons from I mean, they're all from years ago, where they're worried about like worrying the kids or upsetting them or something. So Lisa says, "You don't have to worry about that. We're the MTV it's either Lisa or Bart. They say we're the MTV generation. We feel neither highs nor lows." And Homer's like, "Really? What's that like?" And she goes, "Eh." Problem with limbo is I can't bend backwards that well. What if that's the trick? Is that you have to? Oh, what if that's the trick? Is that you have to play limbo? Yeah, I would need the clip. I'm pretty sure it's. I feel like it's Lisa, to be honest with you, that says that. Actually, mythologically, limbo is where you're supposed to face your sins and decide if you go to heaven. See, I've heard that, but then I've also heard that like in the time of judgment, there's not much of anything. Like it's not really, I mean, this is all, it's all however people put it together. I mean, Dragoon, if you say limbo to gamers nowadays, they think of a black silhouette platformer from from the Xbox. I know there is a game called Death and Taxes where you decide who dies depending on their life. So yeah, so maybe it'd be something like that. But I want mine to be a town builder. Yeah, I think that's why. I think that I would want to remove the whole decision aspect because I'd want it to just be a town builder. Make it a cozy game, Make it make it so that because it's the easy transition, right? The first level of hell is like the transition into the next level of hell and so on. So maybe the point is to make a town that is so pleasant and so peaceful that the villagers say, wow, if this is the first level of hell, the rest of them must be better. And then they willingly move on. Oh, but if you make a miserable town, they think that that's where they're supposed to be and they don't leave. So your trick as the ruler of the first level of hell is to make them so happy, make them think that they're so happy that they're there, that they are willing to move on to the other levels. Oh, wait. I kind of like this idea. Going to pick up my copy of Endless Ocean. Apparently, it's the only copy within a 40-mile radius between all the GameStops, Targets, and Walmarts near me. I'm telling you, if it's not a major game and you didn't pre-order it, these stores aren't getting physical games anymore. The idea is that if you are pure, limbo is nothing. If you have sin, less so. I mean, there's different versions of that. There's the whole what's the faith or the belief system that when you go to heaven or when it's time for your judgment, they weigh your soul against the weight of a feather, and if you carry any burden with you, you are sent back or something. Like I forget exactly how it works. Limbo is the realm between, where you face your sins before moving onward, but people didn't like the idea of being judged, so it changed to a realm in between, neither good nor bad. Not all games have to be Clash of Clans. Or Boom Beach. I never even heard of Boom Beach. Afterlife is a city building game where you build both afterlives for an alien world, and Limbo is a bar where souls go to wait for their punishment or return. See, that's kind of cool. Do I get to build the bar too? Maybe I get to build the bar. Make it hell-based, but you're a sinner demon who got tired of damnation and such. It was like a no AC in hell. Screw it. We're making an HOA. You have to build a certain amount of things and structures to get the next level of hell. This is kind of nice. I kind of like this idea. I like this idea. I'd probably call it level of hell, first level of hell. I'd call it first level of hell. Is it Egyptian? Egyptian is the thing that does that. Oh, no problem, Kia. Supercell. I know why so many classmates that played at least one of these games. I mean, Clash of Clans has been around. I never played it. I never played Clash of Clans, but I know people that game's been around forever. Make it like Command and Conquer. Oh wait, you want to make a first level of hell a Command? No, I don't want to make it a Command and Conquer game. I already conquered. I'm already in charge. That's it. That's I'm not giving anybody else a chance. Clash is fun. I've been playing it since it came out. Oh, the bar is just a building you can add to. See, yeah, give me something to run the bar. Yeah, I don't know the Clash of Clans. Almost has been hotel like. as your town comes together, you start to ascend from the bottom levels of hell, with the goal of reaching heaven. Only by endgame to be like, nah, we're happy now. Maybe that's the backstory, Dragon. Maybe that's the backstory for your character. Maybe your character was sent down to the 9th level of hell. You can actually have it funny. You can say like your character went down to it's 9 levels of hell, right? And each lower one is worse. Your character was sent down to the 9th level of hell because they were spoiling movies for people. Like they used to enjoy spoiling movies, like something stupid, right? But then they began to enjoy it. So they started moving them back up through the levels, and then they ended up at the 1st level of hell. So now their job is that they have to manage the 1st level of hell and make the transition smoother for everybody else. Because you thought that they were fine, right? You came all the way up and you're like, yeah, these are fine. So your job is to convince everybody else to trick them into willingly go deeper into hell. Okay, I kind of like this idea. Wait. I'm in hell as I want to play video games and I have to work. If your character was written by Visipa, I kind of like this idea. I kind of do dig this idea. But we're gonna. I had something else that I wanted to chat about. I watched. I watched the most recent. I watched a few things. I watched the most recent episode of X-Men '97. I like the show. I still do have the problem of comparing it to the original show. On its own, I still think it's decent. I am kind of having a problem. I do kind of think they're doing a bit too much. I do think that they are. I want to say something. No, I don't have access to Paramount Plus, so I can't watch Knuckles. Job on application from heaven, accidentally ending up in hell, and demons who's tired of their jobs like, I'll try anything different. Oh, that's kind of cool. They're tired of everything being cheery. They hated it when they were alive. I do have a problem with the show with X-Men 97 being a little too. They're trying to do a lot. It feels like it's trying to cram a whole bunch of different things, and it's one of my. It's arguably one of my biggest pet peeves with shows and media is when they try to do too much. I don't want to spoil anything. Here's what I'll say. There is in addition to the plot, to the main plot line that's going on, and one other sort of side thing that they brought up really quickly that's kind of resolved. There's another plot line involving Xavier, and I won't say anything directly, but there's a plot line involving Xavier. And I don't really think they should be doing any of that right now. I'm not a fan of the fact that they wedge these things into the show to tell you that this other thing is going on. And I think it would have had more impact if they saved that stuff for another time. I think that yes, Spider-Man 3 was the most atrocious of all of that. But they're kind of doing. It's not that bad. It's definitely not that bad because they have more than 3 hours to work with. But it is kind of a problem that I'm having with the show where I think that they in the last episode there was this whole big revelation about something, and it's like, why are you even like? They had this revelation to say that this thing happened, and then that's it. It's like, why did you bring it up? This should be saved. My problem, ironically, this is a little bit like our discussion about the Blight in 16. My problem isn't that it's happening. My problem is that you are telling us that it's happening. You're telling us that the main characters know that it's happening, and then they're ignoring it to go do other things. And it feels like this would take some sort of a priority. Even if it was, hey, let's have 90% of the team go do this thing and have one person go check out this other thing. You know, if you said, we have to go and stop Apocalypse, right? It's not Apocalypse, but maybe. If you said, we have to go stop Apocalypse, and then all of a sudden, there was this gigantic plot line about, oh my God, Juggernaut appeared. Why wouldn't they say, you two go see if you can deal with the Juggernaut thing, and the rest of us will go do the Apocalypse thing? So the fact that they have this other gigantic thing happening, and then they're not sending anybody to talk about it, it's like, well, why are you? And I'm not going to argue about what's happening in the game in the show. I'm asking why, from a writing standpoint, are you bringing this to light in the story and then not doing anything with it? It's not like, I get that it's a buildup, but this example, like the Blight thing, for instance, I get that that's a buildup. That's inarguably, there's a buildup there. There's a reason that all of that stuff is happening. This other plot line that's going on, you should have ignored this. You should have not talked about this at all. It would make more sense if you didn't talk about it. It would give more impact. It would allow the other main story to have more impact if you didn't have to also think about this other thing that was happening. And it's just kind of weird from a writing standpoint and a show creation standpoint. It's kind of weird that they did that. I don't think they're doing too much. It's all linking to the one plot line. Remember, half the plot lines are also continuations off of an old anime. Well, no, this Xavier thing is new. Although I will admit, I didn't watch the last season of the 97 show, so I don't know. But I think this Xavier thing is new. This is a new plot line that was introduced in this show, and then they're continuing elements of it during the show. And it's just like, you shouldn't be talking about this. The Xavier thing is the end of the original show. Okay, yeah. So Lilac, wouldn't it have been perfectly fine? I'm not even going to say it makes sense or not make sense. Wouldn't it have been perfectly fine if you did not talk about that at all? Considering that the first episode set up, I'm trying not to spoil anything. I feel like I can spoil this. Here, this is what I'm going to say. At the end of the 97 show, and when this show starts, Xavier died like a year ago or some time before. So that is that's the setting. And then in the early, the first and maybe second episode, there's a plot line about Scott trying to be the leader of the team. Like, he's trying to figure out how he can do this. How could he be the leader of the team? So that's fine. That was a good plot line. That's a good thing. That's a theme that you could have run with his character through the entire season with. You could have taken that through the whole season and said, yeah, that's his character arc. Is he's trying to figure out how to do this. How to figure out what he's supposed to do in all of this. And then you could have this other thing towards the end of the season that becomes the revelation that sets up the second season. So the fact that you had this moment and you had this whole plot line with him about what should I do, and then you have this other revelation come to light that you're like working throughout the show, it's like, I don't understand why you did that. You have this other major thing that's happening, this very important, very significant thing with a lot of players and a lot of moving parts to it. So why are you adding another? Why in this story of moving parts are you showing me random parts of another story? It's too early for that. I think it's way too early for that. It's hard to really say because the stuff that's happened in the last few episodes are the big big things. And in the comics also pushes Xavier more into the story if they bring in someone. I didn't really watch X-Men TAS back then, but I did. But I feel like I need to. To be completely honest, Kia, the continuation, quote unquote, of X-Men 90 of the original show into this one, it's really just every once in a while they throw a reference in there. They'll make a reference to something that happened, and it'll be from the original show. There are some ideas that kind of transition along. At no point watching 97 do I feel like I need to watch 92 again. Right? There's nothing that I've seen other than the off reference here and there that I feel like, wow, if you didn't watch the original show, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah, it's hard because spoilers. You really do have to. 97 is just another season. See, but I don't think so. I think that it does enough on its own. I think that the one thing I will say is that I think maybe there's one or two characters that they don't really do an in-depth explanation to, but I don't feel like you need it. I don't feel like you need a refresher or anything. And again, I say this as somebody that has knowledge of the original show, but has also not watched it in a very long time. So, well, I was kind of trying to go through it again, but I didn't even get through the first season, I think. This was like a year or two ago. So I don't know. I would argue that you can enjoy the show just fine without that frame of reference. It's just every once in a while they're gonna mention something, right? They're gonna say like, oh, I remember Rogue when we did this thing, and I fought the Sentinels, like Jubilee mentions at one point, like, oh yeah, I fought the Sentinels I was at a mall, and that's the first episode of the show. So but you don't lose anything by not knowing that. You just, oh, okay, well, I don't know that reference. That's all. But she explains, I was at a mall and the Sentinels attacked me and the X-Men saved me. There you go. That's really all you need. Often it fears if you don't do that, people may feel the show is contained enough to move on from. The older ones are a good watch. Yeah, I would still say watch the old shows because they're so great. If it is a continuation, what happened to... Yeah, I know. If it's a continuation, what happened to Rogue's ass? What? That's not cool. For example, they aren't going to spend time explaining how the big bad is because they expect you to have seen the old TAS. Likewise, the characters appearing, some storylines leading to other things. Well, they didn't explain... I feel like I can't spoil anything. They didn't explain that one sinister looking guy, right? Because he was in the original show, but the other villain I don't think was in the original show. So that's not someone you have to explain. One of them was in the original show that they don't really do a good job of explaining, which, to be fair, I don't know how well of a job they did explaining him in the first in 97, but in 92, I mean. But this one, the new villain currently, I don't think was ever in before. Oh, he did appear in the other show. He did. I actually didn't know that he appeared in the other. Yeah, see, and there you go, Lilac. I didn't know that he appeared in the other show. I didn't feel like I was missing any information. I felt like this is a new villain that I've never seen before. And I didn't feel, at no point watching 97 and seeing that other character, I didn't know he was in the original show, but I never felt like I was missing anything. I felt like, who is this guy? But don't we always argue that you don't always want them to tell you everything up front? Don't we say that you have to have some mystery? I mean, the original show was known for that. To an extent, the original, that has to go from huge to flat depending on the scene. Yeah, I mean, depending on who's animating what episode that week. Yeah, 97 takes place 1 year after the old TAS ended. In universe, that's a lot of time. That's not a lot of time to lose her at. Then you know what, Lilac? Then she needs to grab a hold of somebody with a bigger ass and fix it. No, I'm enjoying it for the most part. I like I said, I think the biggest gripe that I have with the show is and it's not the show, it's my fault. I'm having a hard time not comparing it to the original show. The voices especially are kind of taking me out of it in that regard. I think that the voices are fine, but it's hard for me to not hear the I'm pretty sure that the Wolverine voice is different. Rogue's voice is different. Jubilee's voice, I'm pretty sure is different. They're all, I don't think anybody has the same voice, but some of them are pretty close, and most of them are great. Like, I don't think anybody's voice is makes me think, nobody's voice is taking me out of the show, but it is difficult. It's tough for me to sit there and listen to it and not think, man, that other voice was just so much better. Like, that's just what I remember. The first two, they're the same voice actors, really? Wolverine? Is Wolverine the same? He sounds so different to me. Jubilee is a new VA. So who's the same? Who's the same? Because Rogue sounds very different to me. Remy sounded kind of different to me. Gambit. Wolverine sounds different to me. Jubilee sounds different to me. Scott, I think, yeah, I was going to say Scott sounds the same. Cyclops sounds the same. Jean Gene sounds different. And again, I don't have a problem with any of these voices. It's just hard for me to not hear the original and think, man, I really wish that was the same. Jubilee and Storm are new. Yeah, like Storm, I think is fantastic. I think Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean are the same. It's also been so long. Yeah, Wolverine's VA probably improved and got older. But that would... See, Kia, my problem right there is improved because that would imply that the original voice was not good. And I think the original voice was fantastic. Oh, Scott is different? Okay, so Scott is different. The only voice actor that I know from the original show that passed away a while ago, which is... It bums me out because, my God, I would love to hear more lines from him. It was Apocalypse. The VA for Apocalypse died, I want to say back in like 2005 or something. And Apocalypse voice was just incredible. Like, it's probably one of my favorite voice acted characters ever is Apocalypse from that show. And part of it's just the lines that he says. Like, it's his voice, but the lines that he says are just amazing. Storm's OGVA does have a sizable role in 2 episodes revolving around Storm. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Likewise, Jubilee's, OGVA had a role in episode 4. I like when they do that stuff. I do like when they have fun with that kind of stuff. DuckTales did that. DuckTales did that where the original voice for Huey, Dewey, and Louie was, I think it was young Donald in a time travel flashback sort of scenario. And then his voice as a kid was the original voices for Huey, Dewey, and Louie in the original DuckTales cartoon. I had to look it up to make sure. And I think it was the actual VA that did it. Not necessarily good. Can be improved to great. Storm was actually played by 2 different actors in the OG show. The second one is reprising her role. Okay. Just looked it up. Almost everyone is the same except for Scott. Wait, really? The voices changed too much to be able to reprise properly, so they got new VAs. So hold on. I'd have to sit there and go back and forth. Because now someone's saying that they're all the same except for Scott. So what am I supposed to believe here? Who's the same and who is different? Do we secretly find out Rogue only had a big butt in the OG show because she stole parts of the Blob's power? Either that or Carol Danvers was stacked before she got her power stolen. I mean, I think we saw Carol Danvers once in the show, but she was laying down in a coma the entire time. But I'm enjoying it for the most part. I'm digging it. Like I said, any problems that I'm really having with the show, other than the fact that I think with the Xavier storyline, I think they're doing a little bit too much. Everything else I think is fine. Tonally, it's the 92 show, but they're on cable, not cable TV. So they have more room to do stuff. Right, they can be a little bit more aggressive. They have more time to flesh things out. So I in that regard, I think it's fine. It is a bit jarring, but not bad. The voices are really my problem. The comparisons to the original show, that's really on me. But I do think that there is a little too much that they're doing. The end of the 1 episode hit me so damn hard. Was it not the last one, right? Is it the one before it? Which one am I thinking of? Which episode was it? Because there was one. Oh, no, you're talking about the 2 episodes before. Episode 6. I think you're talking about episode 6. If you're talking about, if it's the same episode that I'm thinking of, and you're talking about episode 6, was that the one? I think so. I think it was episode 6. I mean, there was one of them where I was just like, oh my God. I can't. That was definitely wow, I can't believe they did that. Oh yeah, when Luke kills Han. Oh yeah, I remember that. It was good times. Yeah, you just sit there like, oh my God. What just happened? I kind of can't believe that. I watched Kaiju number 8, episode 5. Is that the one? I watched Kaiju number 8. There's only like 3 episodes of it, so I watched that. That's funny. I like that. I think that's a nice, fun. That's a fun concept. I think that's a really entertaining concept. It is I do kind of wish I waited a little bit because this last episode, the 3rd episode, ends on a cliffhanger. So I was kind of like, oh man, if I would have waited one more episode, I would have had like a complete arc of a thing happening. Do we secretly find out we're going to be going? Oh wait, I said it already. Imagine Spider-Man TAS gets revived, but the voices are worse. Like the characters actually never shut up this time. I didn't think that the voices were so bad. Like other than the whole Shocker thing. Rouge the Bat is an X-Men too. Kaiju number 8. I like the premise more than how they handled it. I like the premise. I don't mind how they handled it. No, I think I'm kind of okay with how they handled it. You know what? You know what's something that, and this is gonna be, you're gonna see. I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna think about evidence of this all over the place. As I get older, and this is something that I've mentioned before. There's an anime. I've mentioned this about Mysterious Ex-Girlfriend. This weird anime, not doing this, and I loved it for that. I get kind of annoyed, more so than ever now as I get older, by them dragging things out because they're just not saying things. That gets on my nerves. I'm so tired of that. Just stop it. When the episode happens, yeah, the spit fetish one. When the episode happens and it can be traced back to someone just didn't flat out say something. It's like, this all feels like a waste of my time. Just say it. Just say whatever it is that you're trying to say, and stop this whole thing where we need to figure out how to survive with not saying it. It's like, just say it. It just gets on my nerves, man. I'm so tired of it. It's like, because it drags, because it feels like it feels like it's intentionally dragging for time. And it's like, just stop doing that. That's why I like Mysterious Ex-Girlfriend. The premise of that show, it was weird. It was absolutely bizarre. But in execution, what happens is, the main character is saying something, is thinking something, but he doesn't really want to say it. So how are we gonna? Nope. I swap spit with him, and I know exactly what he's thinking, and everything is fine. Thank you for taking something that's normally 22 minutes dragged out across an episode and resolving it in 2 minutes. I appreciate that. My time appreciates that. It's so annoying. Yeah, I'm tired of the hunt. Like, I'm tired of you dragging me through this experience. If you wanted to do it like a mystery, if you wanted to not tell me and then have me find out along with the other characters what's going on, fine. That's a mystery. That's something that's interesting. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to think, what's going on? What's happening? And then I'm going to say, oh, that's what's going on. But if you tell me up front, now I'm watching 22 minutes of everybody else trying to navigate around the big secret. Sometimes that's fun and sometimes it's not. Somebody had to say it. Homeboy was dying. Somebody should do that to draw out time, like anime fight. See, at least in a drawn out anime fight, there's a cool action sequence happening. If you give me an anime fight where they're fighting for 21 minutes of the 22 minutes of the episode, at least I got a cool fight scene out of it. It's maybe when you go to something like Gohan versus Cell, right? The death of Cell, where you had one whole episode was the fireball. Like, that's where I'm kind of like, come on, man, you're killing me with this, right? You could have done something more interesting than that. You could have had more of an extended fight. Yes. Brought up the same fight. I do still love Steven Universe, but I hate his pacing. Steven Universe, if I have any problem with Steven Universe, it's just that, and Steven Universe often comes up in the filler discussion. I do think that Steven Universe has this thing. They kind of resolved it later because they didn't have enough episodes to not do this. But there are times where I think there's this thing happening. I'd really rather you keep talking about it. I would, this whole revelation with Rose happens, and then the next episode is they want to go to a concert or something, and well, I can't lie because that's a great episode. You know exactly what episode I'm talking about. But that's what if there's anything I don't like about Steven Universe, it's that they did a lot of that. Like even the first season had tons of what we would call filler. We're not getting into the filler discussion, but what most people have called filler. And then the second season was literally half the episodes. So they did cut out a good chunk of that. And by the end, they were struggling to be approved to make arcs of episodes. So they didn't do that a ton. But when they had the time to do that, there were moments where it felt like there was an important thing going on, and we had a goofy episode. And it's like, that's fine. It's fine, but I'd really rather you didn't. If you want to make the episode about somebody else, right? If you have this huge revelation about Rose and Steven and the gems are trying to figure it out, and then the next episode is a filler episode with Lapis and Peridot, then I would say, okay, that makes sense. They're off dealing with this big thing that happened, so you've got something for the viewer that lightens the mood a little bit. You've got some funny stuff going on. But the idea that you would have this big revelation with these characters, and then in the next episode they're trying to go somewhere to get coffee, right? Oh no, we need to figure out what to do because we want donuts, but the donut place is closed. It's like, come on, guys, act like you care. I care. Act like you care. In real life, that's actually what people do. They don't say it until it becomes an issue because I don't want to cause a fuss. We get annoyed at it in media because we don't enjoy when it happens to us. No, I get annoyed at it when it happens in media because I've got 22 minutes to resolve the problem. When there's a real life problem and there's something going on that you don't want to say, and then eventually it comes down to a conflict where there's a resolution and then everything comes out, that sequence is a day or days or weeks. I have 22 minutes for you to solve this problem, for a problem to develop, and for you to discuss it to a resolution. Stop wasting my time. Let's get it out. Come on, people. Come on. You got a problem. Let's start dealing with it. I would rather you express what the issue is and then spend the episode trying to solve the problem. That's more interesting to me. Because you know what happens is that you spend the episode doing that, not telling everybody, and then the secret finally comes out, and then it's resolved in 2 minutes because the episode's almost over. Or it wasn't even that big of a deal, or it was some sort of a misunderstanding. It's like you could have dealt with this a while ago. If you would have just said what was wrong, you would have dealt with it a while ago. They don't reveal in plot details. You won't get extra seasons. Yeah, we didn't. Don't watch One Piece then. They drag everything out. I still love Steven. I love Steven. I haven't gone back. To finish it. Vegeta comes out in the last second. The whole 20 minutes of melodrama that could have been avoided with 5 words. It's just annoying. I'm tired of it. Like I said, I would rather you in the beginning find out, oh my God, there's a problem. Let me talk to them. And then you spend the rest of the episode solving the problem. That's so much more interesting to me. Would you rather have a new Rose episode or Ronaldo? Oh, a Rose episode, 100%. Wait, hold on. Actually, Kia, hold on a second here. In the Ronaldo episode, is he dying? That's going to change my answer. Fights in One Piece, they'll be fighting for 20 episodes, all bloodied, and man going to be like, okay, now the real fight begins. And it's another 10 episodes. I feel like for Steven Universe Season 1, it was less filler, more the show was originally a slice of life with action, and then it evolved into... That's fair. That's fair to say. It's fair to say that, but they clearly did have a main story in line. They clearly had something that they were planning to do. So that's true. If they were looking to more split between that. Like if you were looking the 50-50 real story versus slice of life or one-off episode, X-Files used to do that. The original X-Files always had a main. There was the main alien plotline going on, right? Mulder's sister and the eventual invasion and the cigarette smoking man. All of that stuff was always there, but they would pepper in random episodes about random creatures and monsters and X-Files cases, or they would have like special guest episodes where it was either a goofy theme or a special writer or something. Like I think Stephen King did an episode, so they would do stuff like that. They would intermix a lot of those things, and maybe that's what they were trying to do. But realistically, the story was just so good for Steven Universe. I didn't want to watch any of the other stuff. Not much of it, because there were some episodes that were good. One Piece is great, but goddamn, is the pacing of the anime effed. It ends with them trading grocery bags for the trash bag. If you watch season 1 as a self-contained thing without season 2, it's very typical slice of life with a central plot. It was hyper focus of season 2 that made it retroactively feel like it was just filler, and not just season 2. I would argue that after season 2, because season 1 I think was 52 episodes, season 2 was 26 episodes, and then I think season 3 was like 15 or 20 episodes. It might have been longer. That's when the focus of the story really started to narrow, and and character development. I think that was a big thing with Steven Universe. I think that something that not necessarily got overlooked, but I feel like I don't hear enough about it, or I didn't used to hear enough about it. There was a lot of character development, like the way that the characters. And it was in the beginning to an extent, but when you got into it later, when you got into the stuff about and it wasn't just Steven. It was when you got into the stuff about Amethyst, and she's trying to find her place, and they go back to the kindergarten and they see where she came out of, and she's dealing with that, and obviously the Garnet stuff was very interesting. The conflict between Ruby and Sapphire. Rose was incredible. Rose is between Rose and Lars, actually. If I'm being honest here, it's between Rose and Lars. I don't know that I've ever had a character turn around so much for me that I absolutely didn't like. Not Rose. I'm saying Rose. Pearl and I'm sorry, not Rose. Pearl. Pearl and Lars, I think, were two characters that I don't ever remember disliking characters so much that I ended up really liking by the end. And Pearl was, it's got to be, I would have to say it's Pearl. Pearl was one that I hated in the beginning. She was the disciplinarian. She was the one that was mean. She was the one with the stick up her ass. And that was what she was. That was the character she was supposed to be in the beginning of the show. I had no problem with that. But it worked in that she was my least favorite of them. When you started to get into the development of her, when you started to get into her relationship with Rose, and then when you really got down to it, when you really got to the ending and you saw the secrets she was keeping and the things that you very literally saw the internal struggle of what she was going through. Nothing made me like her more. Nothing made me like her more. I honestly think one of my favorite moments with her is it's the episode when she sings with Greg, and they're singing about Rose. It's the one where they go to I was gonna say Capital City, but that's The Simpsons. You know which one? The one where they sing the song together. They sing the duet about Rose. There's a moment some episodes later, because she hated Greg, right? She always hated him, which is ironic because I didn't like her much either. And yeah, it's over. There's a scene some episodes later where something is happening to him, or he's getting kidnapped or something, and she says, "That's our Greg," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, early Pearl would have never said something like that, and that's such a great moment, and it was such a throwaway line. It was such a throwaway moment for her and for the show, and it was like no one paid attention to it, and it was, and I guess rightfully so. But when I watched it and I heard that line, I was like, "That's fantastic." They have such a better relationship now, and it was after that episode. I wish we got more episodes of Space Captain. That would have been nice. I would have liked some more Lars stuff in that regard. I'd say it's the difference between Steven Universe and Adventure Time. While Steven Universe kind of dove hard into its story once it got going, Adventure Time made a bigger effort to slowly move into that, which, to be fair, helped to get more successful seasons, but also helped to feel more natural when the plot took more control of later seasons. I watched like one episode of Adventure Time, and I wasn't really a fan of it. Maybe that's something that I would need to like buckle down and really watch. But there's a ton of that, isn't there? I think how they wrote Rose was weird. I've never seen a character be torn down with all of her redeeming qualities being front loaded. I think that was sort of the trick with her. I think that was the gag with Rose, was that she felt like she was supposed to be that, right? Rose was supposed to be this amazing character on the outside because that was her intention. Her intention was to be an amazing character on the outside, and to her credit, maybe the bad things that she didn't really think were that bad. You know, maybe there was a bit of I have to hurt people to save people, right? That's a hard. I think character-wise, that's a hard thing to write, and that's a hard thing to get correctly. And unfortunately, I think when you get it correctly, it does kind of create that divide. If I have to hurt my characters to save my characters, am I right or am I wrong? You know, and I think that there were some elements of her that kind of did that. It's the stuff with, like, Spinell that I really had a problem with Rose. Overall, I think you're right. I absolutely think that Rose was knocked off her pedestal with the realizations about her very well. I think that she fell very far from the version of her that we were led to believe was the real her. But there were moments like Spinell. There were moments... Bismuth, for instance. I think Bismuth is a good example of she did something that was painful in order to save everybody. But you also let that drag on way too long. You let that go much longer than it needed to. And then something happened to you, and now there was nobody left to solve the problem. And I didn't like that. And it was like, that sucked. That sucked that happened to that character because of Rose. Let me go back up here. The only one of these new kids cartoons I watched all the way through is Gravity Falls. I started Gravity Falls and it stopped it, and I don't know why I stopped it, because I think there was something else that came up to watch. I watched like 3 episodes of it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I watched I don't remember if I finished what's it called, Amphibia. I watched Owl House. I tried watching Star versus the Forces of Evil. I didn't like that show. There was another one too. I know there's another one that I watched. Greg's Side Adventure Time in season 3. That's when it starts becoming more plot focused. Rose was on a literal pedestal at the beginning of the series. She was. She was another character with an interesting development, being that we never actually saw them except through flashbacks. What's funny to me is I wasn't as shocked by the Rose with selfish stuff, because in some of those flashbacks it's played for laughs, but she's very selfish in how she views. And Dragoon, when you see those early moments, you think that there was a moment where she like laughed at Greg, and it was in the video, and you think that she just kind of doesn't understand the world, right? She doesn't understand humans, and it's true. She comes from a different existence. They view life differently, so that was kind of understandable. But when you have the lens of she's a bit selfish, and she doesn't really treat people probably the way they deserve to be treated, then you go back and you think, wow, that was kind of an example of that. That was like a bad sign. Spinels are so blonde. OG Resident Evil 4. In the remake, though, they're awesome. Amphibia, I think I didn't get into Amphibia because I watched Owl House first. And I think Amphibia hit a lot of the same beats for me. So I just thought, it's the same. It's the same problem that I had with Gurren Lagann and Kill La Kill. I watched Kill La Kill first, and then I tried to watch Gurren Lagann, and I thought, this feels like the same show. So I never even finished it. You won't like the ending of Star. I hated it. Star started out really good, and it went way Game of Thrones. See, that's not interesting to me. The moment when she laughs at him and he just starts crying. Yeah, it was just kind of like I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate a lot of the stuff that they did, that she did, and that was the character. That was character development, and it was great. And it was a good. I think it said a lot about Rose to make a character that you liked because you were supposed to like her, that you didn't like when it was time to not like her, but admit that without her there and without all of this happening, the good and the bad, none of this happens. It's as much as you liked her in the beginning and didn't like her by the end, she was relevant. Everything that she did was important, and it mattered. And it gave us Steven. It gave us the gems in the way that they are. It was an effective kickoff to everything, and it worked. The saddest part of business is when you realize Rose had no issue with business making weapons for the war, but the second she found out about the Diamond Breaker, she turned on her, and she turned on her. I mean, it wasn't wrong that she turned on her. It's like nobody was wrong there, right? She wasn't wrong. Bismuth wasn't wrong to try and make that. She wasn't wrong to stop her from trying to use it. It's just, it went on too long. She should have freed her. Once the war was over and the other gems didn't know where she was, she should have freed her. Her imprisonment shouldn't have lasted more than 100 years. Even if you want to say that it lasted 1,000 years, it shouldn't have lasted. It shouldn't have lasted to the point where she died. Where Rose died, and then Bismuth, if Steven didn't free her, Bismuth is just gone forever. Is just trapped forever. If you enjoyed Kill La Kill, if Gurren Lagann felt the same, would it still be enjoyable? Gold, yes, but it's kind of like saying, if you play a video game that you really like, would you immediately start the game over again? Sure, you know you liked this game, but immediately playing it again kind of it's damaging to your ability to enjoy it. None of it didn't feel fresh. Yeah, I did. Gold, that was my problem, is that I finished Kill La Kill, and then the next day I said, all right, Gurren Lagann, let's go. And that was my problem. And I admit that. So I would say that if I tried to watch Gurren Lagann now, I would probably enjoy it better because I had a larger gap of time in between. But yeah, that was my issue, was that I watched one and then I went right into the next one. I didn't really see how they're similar other than visually. Visually, first of all, I do think I you say other than visually, but I do think visually is very important. A wacky cast of characters in an overly extreme setting where the younger character is trying to discover their place in, like, if you break it down to the simple elements, sure, you can probably find a lot of anime that are very similar to that, but the over the top ridiculous action, the graphics and or the artwork, I should say. I shouldn't say graphics. The artwork and everything, the character base with the over the top characters, the over the top action, the over the top premise, like everything was very similar in a core way. So that's why it felt pretty similar. It's not like you were it's not like you watched Kill La Kill and then you watched Toradora. You know what I mean? They're very different. Animation's a bit different. Animation's a lot different. One's a rom-com. Like, there's a difference there enough where you could watch one and then watch the other one and say that felt very different. going from Kill La Kill, this over-the-top wild action show with this kind of artwork and these kinds of characters and this kind of environment and this tone of the entire show, and then to go to another show that every aspect of that is almost exactly the same, even if the details are different. The details were different, but the tone of all of it felt the same to me. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that watched one. I used to have a joke where I would say, if you tried to watch them both, which one did you watch first? Because that's the one you like. Because I knew people that I love Kill La Kill. I think Kill La Kill is one of my favorite anime ever. And I have talked to people that said, I watched Gurren Lagann and I thought it was awesome, and then I watched Kill La Kill and I didn't enjoy it. And that was the problem, is it was those two shows. Every time I talked to people, it was those two shows. Whichever one they watched first was the one that they liked, and then the one that they watched second was the one that they didn't finish. Because it felt repetitive. You mean like when I play Armored Core? Well, at least with Armored Core, I had different power-ups and stuff. And I've rarely played games back to back to back. Plus, with Armored Core, I had a guide open, so I knew exactly which things I had to do to change the quest. So there were, Armored Core, I see what you're saying there. But Armored Core is a bit different because it wasn't like I was sitting there. Like, I wasn't reading and engaging in the story in Armored Core. I had gameplay. And that's the thing, is that's the big difference, is that with a video game, like I brought video games up as a reference, but at least with video games, there's a gameplay element that changes when if you play a game and then you play it again, there's a gameplay element that changes. When you watch a show and you watch another show, if tonally everything feels the same, then sure, the details are different, but you're still absorbing the tone. Yeah, that's pretty much what Studio Trigger does. Wacky characters in a wacky world, even with little. Even Little Witch Academia, I thought felt relatively different. I thought, like, I didn't look at Little Witch Academia and think, wow, this feels exactly like Kill La Kill. I felt animation wise it was similar, but tonally, I don't know. I felt the show was a bit different in that regard. Yeah, it's a pretty broad classification. Go from Kill La Kill to Little Witch. Same studio, lead characters, totally opposite personalities, but are actually voiced by the same actress in English. I watched Owl House first. I never watched Kill La Kill, mostly due to me knowing that I'd get burned out on it after Gurren Lagann. So yeah, I would say that's what I'm talking about. Give it some time and then go watch Kill La Kill is amazing. Enjoyed them both quite a bit. I'd argue Rose was wrong. Because she didn't do it for anyone else. She did it because it meant if her secret came out, she was the target. She didn't trust Bismuth because she was selfish. And she further punished Pearl by forcing her to lie. Yeah, the Pearl thing was just tragic. That was just tragic. It's kind of like playing Bloodstained after Symphony of the Night. Yeah, I would say so. I would say that if you played one of them and then you went and you played the other one, right, the details are different, the characters are different, the environment is somewhat different. The gameplay loop is different in Bloodstained, right? You've got the shards and you've got all of that stuff. The action is a bit more intense in Bloodstained. But if you played one of them and you went right to the other one, you probably have more fun playing the first one because the second one would feel like the first one again, whichever one it was. And again, that was the whole problem with Kill La Kill and Gurren Lagann, that when people would talk about which one they watched first, and then they would watch the second one and felt like it was just the show again, which again isn't bad, but maybe it's a little too much. Maybe it's a little too long. I think I watched Gurren after Kill. I watched Kill and then I tried to watch Gurren and it was just too much for me. That's testament to how well they set up Rose at the beginning. Then we can look at what she did to Bismuth and at first be like, well, Rose wasn't wrong. And I'm thinking about it. And that's the thing. And I would say that she wasn't wrong. I would say that she wasn't wrong because she didn't want. The thing is, you're right. Is that she? See, I don't think that she would have thought that Bismuth would have tried to kill her. I know that was a concern that came up. I think the problem was just that Rose didn't want her to kill anybody. You know, for as much as she wanted freedom and as much as there was a war going on, she didn't want any of them to die. She didn't want Gems to die. And Bismuth did. So I think that I would argue that she did that for the good of everybody, to make sure that nobody permanently dies. My issue is that after the war was over, after it was clear that Homeworld wasn't coming back and looking for them, after it was clear that they were safe on Earth, she never released her. That's where I have a problem. It's like, you didn't think that was something that you should have done for her? You didn't think that she earned that for everything that she had done for you, for as close as you were, that she didn't earn the right to be freed? And to see the world that you helped create, right? This safe space for you and your gem friends. You created this safe space, and why wouldn't Bismuth be allowed to see that? With games, at least, I'm fairly resistant to change. I play both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom back to back, doing 100% completion. Yeah, I mean, tonally they're the same. Here's what I'll say, Gold. The mechanic, the what's it called in Tears of the Kingdom, the putting things together, that adds so much to the game. It's like a whole different game. With that? It's so good. Oh my god. Thinking about it, Rose made a video for Steven and could have told him everything. Also, was Pearl ever told not to tell Steven everything? Yes. There was a great episode later that explains all of that. And I won't. I know that it's old, so I'm getting a game started here in a second. I know that it's older, so I'm probably not spoiling anything. There's an episode where it kind of started to eat at Pearl. So what happened was she told Steven that she has a secret, basically. Like, this is, I'm super summarizing here. She basically led on to Steven that she has a secret she can't tell and that she's not allowed to say. So that kicked off this journey into her gem. And going into her gem was like going into her mind and her soul. And inside, he was able to find the truth. And that was the trick, was that she couldn't tell him, but he was able to find out. And when it sucks just thinking about it. When he gets in there and he sees the secrets and he understands, when he comes back out, she's basically free from the secret. And now she can talk about it because he already knows, because she's not revealing a secret to him. So now she can speak about it. So it was amazing. It was what a fantastic episode that was. What just a terrific journey that whole thing was with her. She really was probably one of my favorite characters to ever develop over a series. Even Zuko, I think, was amazing character development. But I'd argue that from the very beginning, from the first time we see Zuko and he's on the ship and he fights to save the men, I would argue that we saw signs from the very beginning that he was a good character, that he was a good person at heart. Iroh believed in him, and it was pretty obvious that if Iroh believed in him, he had a good heart somewhere. So I feel like they set that up really quickly with Zuko, that he was going to be a good person, even if he did have his ups and downs throughout the show. Pearl was amazing. Pearl, in the beginning, most people, I would argue, hated her. And then slowly but surely, she became a lot of people's favorite character. She had the most development out of anybody in that show. She had, would I say she had more development than Steven? Probably not. I mean, he's main character syndrome. I mean, they just built the hover bike and didn't look back. I always built kooky contraptions. I like doing it. I'm surprised Rose got the idea from Bismuth's desire to do it. I tried to make more elaborate vehicles, but since they disappear when you wrap, I just did not bother too much. Yeah, that always kind of annoyed me. When you go to the underground and you get more materials, it's fine. That did kind of annoy me that they would disappear. There was a way to do it, Gold. There was a way to attach a part to it that would... I think you had to... You know what you had to do, Gold? I think if you attached a dragon part to it, the dragon pieces that you farm off of them, because those dragon pieces, or maybe the star fragments also, those pieces exist on the map for longer distances. That's the problem, is that the game unloads things if you get a certain distance away from it. The dragon pieces and the star pieces or whatever, they exist for greater distances on the map. So if you make your recipe thing with that, and it respawns at every time, it doesn't despawn. Because the whole thing is considered part of it, so it won't despawn. It's like some goofy trick that you had to do. Given the later reaction, imagine what keeping that secret did to Pearl. She knew what happened to Pearl, or at least had an idea, but believed that Rose was doing the right thing. She left Pop a close friend. Even after she found out what happened to her. Okay, it took me a second to realize what you were saying there. Yeah, we saw signs since the Blue Spirit. See, I would say we saw signs since the General Zhao episode. I think it was as soon as episode 2. Yeah, when General Zhao is messing with Zuko, isn't that the episode? That's not the same episode, right? When the ship catches fire, and then Zuko fights to save the ship and save the men on the ship. It was like, yeah, I felt like we saw really early that Zuko was going to have a redemption arc sort of thing. She was the unfun mom. Pearl was always my favorite since for her, she literally just got better and better. Rose treated Bismuth like she treated her OG Pearl, not like Spinel, not worth remembering. Once they had done what she needed, or especially if they did something she didn't like. She did. She was kind of terrible. She was kind of terrible. Even though visually she was a great character. I loved her whole look and everything. I would still love that painting that hangs over the door. Even with Rose being a terrible character, I would still love that painting. I think it was for the sake of the secret. If they had released Bismuth after the war, they would have told her that Rose shattered Pink Diamond, but she would have raised an eyebrow since Rose bubbled her because she refused to. And yet she did it. Something wouldn't be right. Maybe you could argue that. But she didn't even try. She didn't even try. I would buy that if she bubbled her again. But, I mean, if she bubbled her again, that would just be terrible. But she didn't even try. And that kind of bugged me. I think Pearl had more development, but Steven had more. He had more canon events. Zhao and Zuko's sister, Zula, showed they were far worse people in the Fire Nation compared to him. Yeah, they were so good, man. Hold on. Okay. And what was Spinel's crime? Spinel, she ignored Rose. She got bored after her. She left her standing. Yeah, she left her just there, man. That was heartbreaking. This is. God, I wasn't expecting to go on a field trip thinking about Steven Universe today. Oh, they finally announced Johnny at Too Many Games. Hey, look at that. They finally announced Johnny as a guest at Too Many Games. Oh, now I have to decide what days I'm going. All right, hold on. Give me a few minutes. Let me run to the restroom. Let me go get some coffee. And then when I come back, we're going to jump back into Final Fantasy 16. What time is it? 3:32? Let's say 70. We're going 3070 today. Too many voice actors. Yeah, I know. No, they did finally start announcing some guests, which kind of sucks because it's a little late. It's a little, for some people that are from far away, it's a little late to be doing that, but that's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but give me a few minutes and I will be right back. That's a later episode. Episode 2, they take the ship into port for repairs because Aang destroyed it. Zhao spent the entire episode antagonizing Zuko, questions men behind his back, and refused to let him go look for the Avatar. Then he tried to sucker punch Zuko after losing the Agni Kai, and Iroh mentioned that okay, so that was okay, so that was a different episode I was thinking of. So yeah, but even there, right, they kind of show you that he's not that terrible of a person. I think Pearl from the beginning, I think that they did a good job of making it look like she was going to be the crappy character, right? She was going to be the annoying mom character for the entire time. And I think that early on, or later, especially after season 1, I think that's when they really started to establish that she's got other things going on. You know, at the very least, they established really early this relationship that she had with Rose. The fact that when I don't know how long it was, when Steven tells her about the sword or the scabbard, the sword, and he says like, oh yeah, I found her secret armory, and she was really upset, and she was like really angry about everything, and it was just like, man, she had a real strong relationship with her, and she felt kind of lied to, you know, and I think those were some of the first times. I think those were some of the first moments of there's something else. Like there's she's got a deeper relationship, but why not tell her? Why not explain these things that happened? And it probably was one of those when you learn everything and then you go back and you try and figure out where the signs were. Right, it's like watching The Sixth Sense for the second time. You go back and you start looking for examples of what was wrong, and those are some of the ones where I would look at and I would think, man, that was kind of a. If you would have guessed this back then, you probably wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have been wrong, but you would have had a good reason. You would have said, "Wow, that kind of sucks that she wouldn't tell her." Like I know that maybe you can argue that she was kind of being overly dramatic about it, but she kind of wasn't. Oh, let me change this here. Final Fantasy. Okay. Oh, I started watching. I'm 4 episodes in. I started watching Bad Batch. Now I'm back on Disney Plus. So I wanted to get some of like X-Men. I knew was shorter, so I wanted to get that out of the way. But now I'm back. I'm watching Bad Batch season 3, which is the final season. I think they uploaded I think the final episode is up, right? Like, so there's no more. So Bad Batch is done. So I'm going through that now. I watched the first 4 episodes. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I really like what they're doing so far. I believe that the first 3 episodes went up together. I'm kind of glad that I'm watching this now because I think I would have been pissed off if I couldn't watch those first 3 episodes as one complete thing. I'm digging it. I'm digging where they're going. It's where we kind of knew they were going to be going, but it's nice to actually see it happening. Like the episode where she teaches that was a great episode too. That was another Rose centric episode, I believe. I think she had a lot of stuff with like her dealing with her feelings about Rose. Oh wait. Let me turn this up a little bit. Hey, Gigi. I ordered my new TV. Though there wasn't a big selection in the 50-inch size category, but it has 144 hertz. VRR FreeSync, and pretty good QLED display. And I had a coupon, so I was able to get it for about $830. $830 for a 50. I'm assuming it is 50-inch. 144 hertz. That's actually really good. That must have been a hell of a coupon. Whee! All right, wait, hold on. I haven't done. How do I look at my? Where are my items? Like my. Okay, so this is. Yeah, well, I'm where I'm supposed to be going. So. Items. Okay, so I'm overloaded on that stuff. I literally don't use any of this. I really probably should. Here, let me go look at the. Who's gonna have my equipment to buy? That's not Charon, right? Charon doesn't have my equipment, isn't it? The blacksmith guy.
The finest fresh from the capital.
I don't want fabrics. I wear armor. Ooh. The new Hot Topic screen tech is QD OLED and mini. I know mini LED. I never heard of QD OLED. Oh, it was last year's model. The price would have been around $900. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, we won't worry about gear right now. I'm glad. I'm glad you were able to pick one up. What brand, by the way?
I found the river. Where's Gav?
Whee! Climb! He's like a little kid. That's Samsung, because I wanted a better brand than the shiny. Yeah, I was actually gonna say TCL. It's like it's probably not TCL. Doesn't TCL make like a 110-inch screen or something?
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab
with the
as much
strengths
this
of both and the price
stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it though. I asked over in Dallamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get.
What a nice looking stream.
About just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
Yeah, just go for a known brand. I've been getting so many spam calls recently, but all they say is the number is verified. It's gotten really annoying. To be honest with you, that's why I don't even answer the phone. Unless it's a number that I know and I'm waiting for a call, especially if I know that I'm waiting for a call, I don't even answer the phone. If I don't recognize the number, I don't care what it says. If obviously I don't answer it if it says spam call. If it doesn't say spam call, I don't answer it. You know, nobody calls. Everybody texts me. If you need to talk to me, text me that you need to talk to me and then call me, because I won't answer the phone call unless I know who it is. Yeah, see, I like LG, especially since Samsung just kind of burned me. Look at all the it's so nice. This place is so pretty. Okay, collect Stardust. All right, I didn't mean to jump that time. I actually did collect the Stardust.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
Yeah, but do you see any other black sand around? Can we, Clive, can we both agree that it does stand out? The game does look a bit washed out. Does it? It looks fine. I mean, it looks a little washed on mine. But, I don't know, we had that problem where everything was so dark. Actually, hold on, let's see. I kind of want to... We're not going to spend too much time on this because we did this before. Camera sensitivity, game performance, no motion blur. Can't stand that. Screen brightness. Let's do that. Right? Okay, that's a little too much. Wait. A little too much there. I went the long way around. Okay. A little better. Okay. Up here. Whee! Okay. Clive, turn around. That little spin move was unnecessary. What else are we looking for? Over here? It's too far? There's an item there, but yeah, it's just the little extra spin. Hades is tough. The game or the boss? Be nice if Twitch supported HDR. Twitch, it's gold. Twitch doesn't even support boobs. All right, you're asking for a lot with HDR. Twitch can't even. Do you see what happened to Fushi? Miss Fushi got banned for a day because of the reveal of her character model, and it had cleavage. And I think it's she did a reveal for it, so she was showing all the parts of the model up close. And I'm thinking maybe they flagged her because she was probably showing the boobs up close. It's like, come on, man. That's so stupid. It's sometimes it's embarrassing to tell people that stream here.
That should be enough for now.
I don't know. I really do think sometimes about going over to YouTube, especially with the exporting. Now that I'm exporting the videos. Yeah, that's what every VTuber does. Twitch is just anti-VTuber. Yeah, it's crazy, Lilac, because I opened up Twitch today. Like, I was sitting here and I was having lunch, so I was going to pop on a stream. Like, I was going to turn on a stream in order to watch it. And right on my feed are these giant boobs. Like if her shirt was an inch over, I would have seen her nipples. It was just right on. She was playing Helldivers, I think. It was just blatant. She was bigger than the screen. And it was like, wait, how is she here? And Fushi gets banned for a day. You got to be kidding me. And it wasn't even a VTuber. It was a real person.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough.
Yeah, VTubers get banned a lot more for a lot less than IRL streamers. It's wild, man. It's a shame that happened. That was remember a few months ago, the whole big thing, like the whole change in the rules and everything. That was one of my problems with it, was that
might even be enough for
they had changed it so that IRL boobs were fine and drawing boobs was a problem.
Have a chat.
It was like, you kind of got that backwards, guys. If you're doing an art stream and you're drawing something that's a little lewd and the character has big boobs or something, that should be fine. And a real person sitting there with her boobs hanging out, if you're gonna ban one of those two, you ban the real one.
Like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh wait, here we go. Hold on.
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
Hey, Atomic.
There was a lot to work out.
Let me
And there still is.
see what's going on with the bromance here.
Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain.
You want me to rub them?
Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
That's true.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
Oh, that was such a romantic line. Kiss him. Kiss him. Kissy, kissy. Damn it. Nah, I don't know. Jill.
Soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead.
Speaking of getting
And try to
sloppy.
get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Sounds like there's much more strict to VTubers. Yeah, what about butts and feet?
to go home, boy?
Your boobs are too cartoony and not real. Banned. You don't show your whole naked body and then show off your assets. Make sure you cover them slightly. I like how Shy Lily found the loophole for a model getting flagged. What was Shy Lily's? What was her loophole? Oh wait, travel to Blackthorn. Yeah, I picked Gav too. Every time I hit Hades, it took a chunk of his HP with a crit.
Got everything you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You'll be sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
Okay.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
I wonder what would happen if a VTuber used like IRL sort of boob, right? Like a boob template. Say, would they get banned for that? Because no, they're real.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Although it is kind of comforting to know that if I ever want to take a day off and I don't want to feel guilty about it, I just need to show a drawing of me with boobs, and that should get me banned for a day. So that'll give me some time to, relax, think about what I've done, and, come back the day after. Oh, wait.
Don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plate.
Just make yourself look like Daisy and have
Excellent.
Uncle Silver Mike next to it. Oh, that's great.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course.
No, gold. It would be a
This will be
drawing
focusing
of me with
forward
boobs. That's the
Salvage
trick.
from the ruins. I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Because, yeah, real boobs won't get me in trouble.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need.
Oh, just so happens.
What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name?
What if that's her name? I'm sorry, Mid sent me over here, but she didn't tell me your name. Oh, it's what's her name? Oh, I thought she was just lazy. No, it's what's her name. It's like Smith where I'm from.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Oh,
Yes.
hi.
Mid said I should speak.
I'm
I'll show you the plans then.
having trouble
Here you
talking
see
right
the
now.
Mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is
Oh,
dealt
she now has
with
a
by
float.
means of the
She can claim
thermal
she's in a
displacement
pool.
stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the
I will
rate
play the part of
excess
Clive.
heat filled up would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of the
Holy
Where would I find
smokes.
it?
Ah, yes. It's
Sleep
in
like
Robert's
Paper
Pass near
Mario.
Lost Wing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces
That's funny.
we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more
Just
dangerous than
there's
that.
monsters. Just say there's monsters.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much.
And it's spelled
Sid.
Wash Your Name, by the
I'll
way.
gather
Wash
my
Your
team
Name.
and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
You know what, Atomic? That would actually be a good joke. Like, oh, go talk to what's her name over there, and then you find out that her name is Washernam or something. It's like, oh, okay, so it wasn't entirely wrong. It's just I'm reminded why I hate the heat. It's so much harder for me to sleep because of the heat. Kia, sleep with a fan. I sleep with a fan, and sleeping with a fan is the best thing you can do, other than an air conditioner. But I sleep with a fan on me, blowing directly on me, on low. High when it gets hotter, because it is kind of hot now. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the noise. I love the feel of it. Oh, it's so good. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's where I'm going. Oh, so I am actually teleporting somewhere. Yeah, I love it. I love doing that. It's probably one of my favorite things about the summer as far as like going to sleep. Like, air conditioning is fantastic, but when it's enough that I can just sleep with a fan, I like that. I like that feeling. I slept with a fan? That sounds unethical. I mean, I guess so. Okay, so left and then right. Well, you know. There's subs for a reason. She doesn't have a clear image of it. Shiloh tends to stream with an underground pool background. She had an inflatable tube floaty toggle. She could say her motto was swimming and in a pool. I mean, that was the whole thing. I mean, you had IRL people doing that, Lilac. Remember you had when they added the pools and hot tub thing, that was what IRL streamers were doing, was that they had pool overlays in front of them so that they could wear bikinis and stuff and act like they were in a pool. So I mean, then you had the ones like Amaranth who were actually in a pool. Where they got little kiddie pools. There was a guy that did that he streamed. he was playing games with his shirt off. But he had the same thing. He had the pool overlay in front of him. And that's what he was saying, was that he was in a pool. But he was very clearly sitting in a chair playing video games. Her model would constantly be flagged for revealing, so she added the floaty thing and everything was completely okay. And there was a guy that... it was when they made the pools, hot tubs, and streams. I think it was called Pools, Hot Tub, and Beach or something. It was music. It was a lo-fi music playlist with Iroh sitting in the hot tub. And that was it. That was his whole channel. Advanced thottery. Or then those with the Walmart. Yeah, that's why you had the little Walmart pools where they would just sit there and they would just talk, but they'd be in a swimsuit and in the little pool. And it's like, if your rule is that easy to break, you're not paying attention. I didn't want to kill them, but I'd make my screen look like it was on a game show, like The Price is Right. But that's not gonna let you be in a bikini or shirtless or anything. Even if I could get away with streaming with my shirt off, I would not do that because I don't want to kill any potential audience. But I always think the same thing, Jervis. Like, listen, I'm trying to people, you know, oh, you should do OnlyFans or something. I was like, no, I'm trying to get viewers, not lose them. Oh, what? Price is Right, Summer Edition. God forbid someone leaves the stream for a minute and your kid shows up for 5. Oh my God, yeah. Only time she accepted a suspension when she got caught and flagged for messing about in VR and making a hot dog magically vanish. Oh boy. Was that you say that and the day you started dancing you got like 20 subs? Oh man. Oh wait, here we go. Hello. Oh, it's you again.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming.
I haven't yet, but
ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about.
what is she afraid to tell me?
Would you mind?
Of course.
Why does it feel like she's afraid to tell me what this thing is? Because she knows it's a bigger problem. You know, AGM, you kind of bring something up. Oh, wait. I don't know, let's see what happens.
Anybody home?
It's the Clive effect. Hey, an Ironmon.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Ow. Oh my God. Get out. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, did I miss him? I think I missed him. Don't stand in the fire. Oh, that's interesting. I got the little drag him down animation. But it didn't do it like a cutscene. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I know I was almost dead there, but I was trying to like. Porunga? All that means is just stream Ring Fit. Sad that 16 didn't get anything from 14. Both 13 and 15 got things from their crossovers, but 14, 16 was one-sided. Oh, yeah, you're right. They didn't get anything. How's combat treating you? Does it lead to a comfortable experience in some other way? Combat in this game, you mean? Oh, it feels great. I like the way combat feels in this. It's fast, it's snappy.
Indeed. Well,
hold on, let me get the story first.
We'll see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right.
Is that what it is? She thinks that I'm hot?
No, you're on your way.
Like, is that why she's all flustered? not wrong. Increases strength tonic. Oh yeah, eventually I'll use that. Lightning Returns got a Mikote cosplay for Lightning. Also a weapon in 15 got Garuda fight and Mikote outfit for the party, but no Mikote Clive for 16. Okay. So you bring up not dancing, but so my day off was approved. I knew there was something I wanted to bring up for you guys. My day off was approved. So May 24th is the day after Paper Mario comes out. I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to have that day off. That's a Friday. So the plan right now, tentatively, the plan is Thursday. I'm gonna stream. Like I'm gonna start earlier than normal probably. So I normally start at 2 p.m. I'll probably start at 12 at noon. And then I'm pretty much going to play it for like 8 hours. I'm going to try and stream for as long as I can handle it. And we're just going to stream. And I'm going to play Paper Mario all day. Friday, I'll wake up. I hope I'll wake up. I go do the things I got to do, go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm probably going to go live on Friday, maybe around 10 in the morning, between 10 and noon. I think noon will be the latest that I go. It really just, I'm saying tentatively just because it depends. You know, I can't promise that I get around that time and then something else comes up that I have to take care of. So at this point, I'll most likely go live around 10 a.m. and then I'll be streaming like 8 to 10 hours for that day. And I'm going to do the same thing for Saturday. And so Saturday, there won't be a community day. And then most likely Sunday. And then I also have the Monday off. I would hope that we'll be beating it by Sunday. But either way, I'm most likely still going to stream on Monday. But it's going to be... So that entire time is going to be super long streams. And it's going to be pretty much every day. So what I was wondering was... did I ever 100%? No, I never 100%ed those games, Kia, because 100%ing means you got to do like all the recipes and stuff, and I just think that they're boring. Yeah, these are not 100%, by the way. This is just me playing the game at a normal pace. This is not me getting every cooking recipe or doing... No, this is ridiculous. Maybe if I'm strong enough and I'm feeling up to it and I beat the game soon enough, maybe I'll do the Pit of 100 Trials. We'll see how that goes. But that's the plan at this point. What I was going to ask was, yeah, it's still going to be Latimer. It's still going to be Paper Mario the entire time. The reason I'm saying there's not a community day is because we're not going to stop and play anything else. Yeah, this, all the trouble centers and everything. So my question is, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do anything with that. If I want to do... I still don't know that I want to do a subathon, because subathons usually have goals. And there's no goal that I'm trying to meet. Like, what's the goal going to be? Keep streaming until you beat Paper Mario? Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's just the goal. Now, so I don't know if I want to just turn it into some sort of an event or if I want to have something else. I was thinking, like, if you donate something, I'll do like a paper craft or an origami or something, right? Like, just break it up and I'll spend 10 minutes doing that, like something ridiculous, right? But I don't know. I wasn't sure if this was something that I wanted to sort of like do stuff with, or if I was just gonna straight up play Paper Mario. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you think? Do you think that I should have something sort of peppered in where like a donation goal where I do certain things, or like what do you think I should do? I almost went out to that balcony again. I hate when they ask a reason for time off. I always say the same thing. My reason for my request because I'm entitled to it. Yeah, my job doesn't do that. I'm very happy that my job doesn't do that. They're not like, well, what do you need it for? They don't do that. They're just like, yeah, you have PTO. If you want it, you. The only thing they need you to do is they need you to put in a request for it, because they need to make sure that, because if 100 people, I mean, we don't even have that many people, but if 20 people request the same day, they need to figure out who they can and can't let go. Because you can't have everybody, right? There's not going to be enough people to replace them.
Mid hasn't been.
What am I missing here? I hate this place. I get lost. Why do I get so lost here? Oh, that's why. I think I did 100%-ish Mario 64 with the collectibles and letter deliveries, but the crystal and recipes, no thank you. The goal would be 100 subs to complete 100 trials. I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea. Right, for every, I'll do like for every gifted sub, I go down a pit of 100 trials, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure, I only really had the idea today, since today is the day that I found out that I'm going to definitely have off.
Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shield.
The requesting is one thing, but the why do you want this time off? In the UK, you get 28 days minimum. Yeah, why do I want this time off? Because I have to use it.
But those things will still be
Oh
spitting
my
out
god,
enough
that's
fire
so
to set
good.
the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside.
Oh, you get 28 days in addition to,
might do it.
like,
Or
total.
the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what to do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes?
Excuse me, Harpocrates.
Well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him? See what he makes of it?
A quiz? Yeah, subathons say. Well, it depends, Kia, because there's the subathons that people do where they say they're gonna keep streaming, right? You donate, 50 subs and we go on for another 2 hours. No, I'm not gonna do any of that. That literally puts your health at risk. No, I don't know. I don't know if there were just like we would set up goals for different things or, like I said, for this much. You have to stop playing and do something else. Like I wasn't sure if I wanted to do anything for it, so I figured I would ask you guys and see if you have any experience with stuff like this and if you had any ideas about what to do. If we should even do anything, I'm probably just gonna stream it like normal, but I figured might as well. If I'm gonna be streaming for that long, might as well turn it into some sort of event. Here, I'll for 100 subs, I'll wear a shirt made of paper. I don't know. What's that? I love how in some games, mithril is this super rare thing that you use, like, you have to use the mithril, it's so powerful. And in other games, it's just there. It's just a thing. Like, let's just wrap the whole ship in mithril. Come on. Do a subathon and fall asleep playing Majora's Mask so people can freak out as the moon falls. I had to go to the hospital today. Oh no, I told my manager he was fine. Anyway, he was fine. I let the company that we contracted to know that I'd used my lunch to go to the hospital. I had an appointment and couldn't change. Even showed them the text to show the appointment and the fact they said it couldn't change. And they asked, well, before we can let you leave, what you going to the hospital for? I told them it's a personal issue, but it's checkups, medication, and they tried to demand details. I would have, you know what, Lilac? You know what you tell them the next time? You tell them I have massive exploding diarrhea, and I need to figure out how to make it stop happening when I'm at work. And then let them ask you more questions. Put a stick, I thought about that too, Merc. Just like the stickers and right. I don't know. I feel like that's probably not me. I'd have to come up with something different.
Moment.
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time.
Tell them you have Ligma. But what's Ligma?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next?
I didn't even need to lie for that. I have Crohn's. The effects is super constipation and super diarrhea at the drop of a hat. Yeah, there you go. Then tell them straight up. Don't tell them the Crohn's, though. Just tell them the diarrhea.
and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine.
Tell them having trouble with your Scooby-Doo-Doo.
I see.
Ha lick my
I
balls!
wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Tell me more, Oprah Crates.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch.
Pitches, man.
I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragonfire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients...
All right, what monsters
shall
do I have
discuss
to
the
kill?
specifics of
Is
how
this
it
this
might
is
be
the
most
main quest
effective
too?
to
This
use
isn't like a
with
side
two
quest or
friends.
anything.
The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
Is this the quest? Who was it? Dragon that was saying it. Is this the quest that you were saying you thought was just like it just kind of kept going? I thought you were talking about a side quest. That's all it was. Basically, I had diagnosed in 2017, and it started to advance. So the tablets
need
I
a
take
hand,
aren't
do
helping
you?
now. So I need to do tons of blood work and start taking
I'll be heading to
immune
market for the
suppressants to
ingredients
help
we need.
other medication
I could use
control
some
it.
help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare.
Oh,
the
come on.
shield
I have to choose
itself.
between them? Wait,
Can we count on
is
your
there
help?
even a point?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Take the less mean-looking one. I'm gonna take the one that I always go with. Come on.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
Take the
I
hot
doubt I
one.
would have survived that
The
place
Harpo
with or
crates won't
without
come
it.
with me.
A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
Take neither. Yeah, it's just... Listen, I'm not really a group person. Can I just go by myself?
So, Clive.
Side quest I can't stay in the desert
have you
area.
made
This
your
main
decision?
quest is the
Who
we're
will
gonna stop
accompany
make you
you
bond
on
with
your little
people.
excursion?
And it goes on for a while. Like, Jill's gonna be mad if I don't take her. Ugh, I don't want to have that fight later. He hit the hot one, so Clive just takes himself. He's got like a mirror. He's got like a pocket mirror, and he's like, "You're coming with me." This trick question with this party system, you won't even tell the difference. Let's go with. Oh man, because Jill's gonna go with me. See, here's my problem, right? Jill's gonna go with me for the rest of the game, right? I'm not gonna get to end game and Tarya's gonna be there. So this is my opportunity to bond with Tarya. But if I take her, I'm gonna have to have this fight with Jill later on. Like, do you think she's prettier than me? I don't want to have to deal with that. Ah, come on. What do you think? Should I let you pick? Should I let chat pick? Because that's like, I know obviously I'm not gonna have an argument with Jill about it, but like I feel like I'm gonna play with Jill for the rest of the game. So, like, this is Tarya's chance to get out and see some stuff? Yeah, can I just take Torgal? Let me take Charon. Let me bring Charon along with the quest. Poll time? Let's do a poll. Let's do a 1 minute poll. Hold on. I'll let you pick. Poll. I got it. One minute poll. A poll is already. Oh, you made the poll active. I told you I was gonna make it. I had a fun title for the poll too. Damn, that's a shame. But if you don't pick Jill, you legit miss a very nice scene. But I'll probably have a nice scene if I pick Jill. I'll probably miss that scene with Tarya, so I can't really argue with that either. I hate to say it, but I would be a Squall because I'm not a people person. Yeah, I wouldn't want to pick either one of them. Like, I'll do it myself. Which one is getting the gold saucer date? Yeah, Jill wins. All right. How many did Tarya get? Tarya got, okay. All right. It's not my fault well, it's not my fault that you had a poll already and I wanted to have a funny name to the poll. All right, Jill, let's go.
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
Look, she didn't even know what the hell we were doing. Why didn't I bring her? Tarya would have known.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very...
Endless ocean and stellar blade. I'm gonna get so wet.
Ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once.
They had a fun name
highly
for the
prized.
poll too, and now I don't want to say it,
Much so,
so I'm
in
not
fact,
going to.
That they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Then you do for your social links and Tarya will be back to normal.
I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there.
Posting and just as you said you posted it. I must be out of sync. Also, congrats. Now you can't see the alternate event unless you replay the game.
You too, Tarya.
I wanted to go with you. I'm just saying. I know. I should have saved right before. Yeah, or just go to YouTube. Meow.
Thanks to Sid, the man who hurt your mother and father is gone.
Okay. Boom. Yeah, this is such an interesting moment in the game. Cuz this does kind of feel sort of feel like it feels like the game progresses at a relatively decent pace, and then all of a sudden there's this. And it's not like I'm just running around the town. I have to go to other places, and it is kind of strange. It does seem, it feels out of nowhere for later into the game.
Those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
Again, this is more just running around, but with the fast travel and stuff, that definitely
I'm
helps.
sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of
I'm gonna go with Gav for the
each.
first event because I didn't realize it was one and done. I kind of felt, see, when they told me about the Gav thing, I kind of felt that way.
And some garlic. I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Got a nice event, but also seeing the Gav event, I was like, that was better. This felt like this feels, you know what this feels like? This feels like any game where we say, it's not as atrocious as some of those, but stuff like Metroid Prime, where it's like all of a sudden you're artifact hunting. It does kind of feel like that. It feels like all of a sudden they got you kind of running around, but like I said, the running around in this is way better so far than Metroid Prime was.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. I hope it's to your liking.
Okay, I'm literally just buying these things from people. Where's the poopy nuts? There we go. Triforce Quest Wind Waker. Also enjoy. I want to pick up Endless Ocean. It's funny because I think it was IGN gave Endless Ocean a relatively lower score. I was watching Spawn Wave this morning and they gave it a lower score, and he's like, but the game's all watered. Of course IGN wouldn't like it.
Buy, sell, or be gone.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't like that game. I don't know. I definitely like Endless Ocean is probably not a game for me.
Let's see how Jill's getting on.
I think that it's probably, I think the thing with Endless Ocean is that it's probably a good game for what it is, but a lot of people aren't going to like what it is. You know, it's a very calm, peaceful, you sort of swimming around and exploring, and like, if you don't like that, you're not gonna like that. It's the same thing we talk about all the time. It's the same thing we talk about with Soulsborns and all those kinds of games. If you just fundamentally don't like that kind, I don't care how good Animal Crossing is. If you don't like those cozy town builder sims, you're not gonna like Animal Crossing.
Did you find it?
Too much Walter. Oh boy. All right.
Yeah.
Scared the hell out of me. Yeah, if
Garlic and
it does what it
pepperoni.
does very well,
Perfect.
but if you don't like what it
Now
does,
all
you're
that
not going to
remains
enjoy
is
it.
for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this
What's
into
this
what
line?
Mid needs to keep her engine cool.
Sony Pictures and Apollo made a $26 billion all-cash offer to buy Paramount. So they made an
Before we
offer.
head back,
Who the hell is
Would
Apollo?
you walk with me a while?
Like Showtime at the Apollo? Who the hell's Apollo? I feel like I've never heard of that.
Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember?
He sounds like he's about to
Walking down Market
cry.
Street in Rosalith, taking in the
I
sights
mean-
and smells.
He kind of deserves it at this point.
What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread.
Clive, would you like some of my pie? Come
Big white
on,
cobs
man.
like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... Oh,
You all right?
sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you.
Remember to grab her
Clive.
buns when you eat her pie.
Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how
We
our life
shall
will be when our work
come.
is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
Hey, Ryan.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive.
They had nothing to do with the animation with their hands. It's just like, could you have them hug or something?
Well, I suppose we better be getting back.
Yeah, I guess.
I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
Yeah, now I am kind of wondering what the
You too.
Tarya cutscene was. Apollo Global Management, American asset management firm that primarily invests in alternative assets. Subsidiaries, Yahoo. So they've got the money. Even though, I mean, I've coffee cups worth more than Yahoo at this point. They were swaying like Resident Evil characters. Update on my PC issue that I forgot to mention. I'm getting a 64 gig USB flash drive so I can use it as a recovery drive for my Windows to get Windows back on my PC. Yeah, the recovery drive thing, you should always do that. That's always a good thing to have. Streaking 55 stream streak. Hey, weren't some of you headed to like 100 stream streak? Did you guys ever get there? Or did I totally miss it? And I apologize if I did.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed.
98.
Thanks in
Okay.
no small part to your kind assistance. I was
Maybe if
just
we didn't
explaining
cancel
to
so much.
Talia how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
See the upcoming war bond. I saw just an image of it. Something about polar, like winter or something.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you.
I haven't played in a little while.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
In Helldivers 2. Oh, you said war bond for Warframe. Okay, I read war bond and immediately meant Helldivers.
Thank you. It was nice just being with you.
Okay, wait.
Our work here is almost
Yeah, Jill picked even Jill picked Tarya.
Shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready.
Yeah, they're putting the Polar Express into Helldivers.
Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting.
Your wallet got stolen. Oh, flip.
Someone ought to warn.
It's just always something, man.
Leave it to
I'm
me.
sorry. Oh, wait, you didn't actually verify that it was you. Yeah, Joe gets 2 dates.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Oh, wait, here we go. Doo-doo.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right
It's
then.
me.
Let's
I went to
start
that retro
working out
game
how
place to show you
bolt all these
before.
bits together.
I'm guessing it dropped when I got into the car. Someone took it and tried to buy a ticket to Singapore. What they didn't realize was that you are poor. Man, I'm sorry. That kind of hurt.
You know, when I got into the smithing game,
I'm not even going to hit the button for that one.
making
I'm sorry
swords
that
and
happened,
shields,
though.
not
That definitely
thermal
sucks.
bleeding,
Hopefully,
digging
there's somehow
jars.
you get your stuff back. I don't know.
Displacement stats.
Cancel all your cards and whatever cards you have, and it's time to order a new one.
Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together.
Yeah, she looks
yet.
like Ashley.
It's
That's what I
cramped enough
thought.
As it is. Let's take this outside.
Oh, you want to fight?
You get all the parts.
You wanna
lined up on
go?
the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is going to require some precision walloping.
They linger on them for too long.
It's finished. It's finally finished.
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was only
Oh,
building
did I tell ya?
one engine.
The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say.
Yeah, but
Right,
there'll
I'm
be
off to
more
get
than
some
just
for this
you.
elbow. Any other work comes in?
I'm going Hated with the gun, but to complete a fate, I turned the gun into a shotgun. Now I kind of hate it. Cards canceled. I now have to go get new ones, get my ID back, get my medical insurance card, and my no blood card. What are you, a vampire? Other than that, my grocery store membership, my Dunkin' gift cards were still. That sucks, man. I'm sorry that happened.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming.
My dad would have loved this.
Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores.
Oh, okay. No blood card.
Searching for
Okay.
a land untouched by the blight. Just like me and my dad planned.
I think I understand.
So if the worst
Is
comes to
it
the
weird that I
worst
think I might have an
and
idea of what
the
that means?
soil and the twins turn black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it
Justice
to be that.
warrior.
I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right.
I bought the DLC, so I've got the suit of armor for you to
One
wear.
thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Eat it in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
This way.
It told me she was.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Hey, Otto.
All right, Clive. Asterix.
What?
We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of.
Is she leaving?
Sure
She's
she'll
gonna
be
like
soon enough.
dip out of town.
She said that. In those words.
She did, yes.
Yeah,
Clive.
crap. She left. She took off.
Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing.
She took off.
She'll probably be halfway to Canva by
Ah, god damn it.
I might still be able to catch her.
I mean, listen, if she doesn't want to go, it kind of sucks, but she doesn't want to go. Hello.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat. Going that way.
Good thing I can fast travel.
You in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she?
Yeah, something like that.
I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obolus.
Don't mention it.
Is your refrigerator running?
What tidings, Uncle?
Did it go to world record? You know what, Kia? How about a game? Hold on. My journey to Canada. Should I be reading this out loud or just reading it to myself? I'd like to borrow your man Gav for a moon or two, that he may keep a watch on those who might mean our little fellowship. Oh, warn us any impending try. Okay. Yeah, dude.
Troubling camera.
Yeah, Latimer. That's kind of what I was thinking.
I'll need someone to keep an eye on Med.
Like like the game would be called "Is Your Refrigerator Running?" And it's like a sentient refrigerator that the beginning of the level it breaks out of the house, and it's like the pizza tower. It's like that game. Where it's like a speed running, right? Pizza tower. It's built for speed running. And what's the other one? The pizza tower, and what was that other one that I played?
Don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
The idea is that you get a refrigerator that has built-in AI, but it becomes sentient and runs off. And that's it. You don't need any more Anton Blast. Thank you. Yeah. There you go. You get a refrigerator that has AI, but the AI becomes sentient and the fridge just starts running.
You'll be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
So Gav is coming with me and Jill's coming with me. If I took the other guy and Tarya for those other quests, would it be them? Or is this always Gav and Jill? I mean, I feel like it's always Gav and Jill. Didn't matter. It'll still be Gav and Jill. Okay. Oh, Ryan, you weren't. I don't think you were here earlier when I said I watched Kaiju number 8. I watched it. I like it. I like the gimmick of it. There are parts of it that feel like they're kind of dragging on a little bit, but I for the most part, I mean, it's only 3 episodes, but for the most part, I liked it. I like the gimmick. I like the animation and stuff. I think it's really funny. Yeah, there were just certain aspects of it where it was like, they just kind of drag it a little bit. It's anime. It's 3 episodes in. It's like a world where kaiju just attack, like giant monsters. They just randomly attack. So then the main character that you follow, he works on a team where whenever a kaiju is killed, they go and they clean it up. Like it's a whole cleanup operation.
What you have to say, you may as well not say it.
I won't say anything beyond that. Oh, you had the Bad Batch. I thought, Lanak, I figured you would have watched it. Lanak, were you not keeping up with the finale? With Bad Batch, I mean? I'm only now able to watch it.
His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in 2 places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the Lost.
Not damage control. Because damage control, I think, fixes the environment. This is just like kaiju cleanup. Because the blood is toxic, and so it's kaiju cleanup. But there's like other stuff going on. That's not the whole premise of the show. That's basically the setting for the show. That's basically what the characters are doing. But there's more happening.
And not as slaves to the crystals.
Oh, I was, but I was waiting to binge.
Free men.
Probably should have been paying attention.
May we join you?
Who's here? Oh my god, Kupka's back. And he looks like Charon.
Lady Karen. What a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how
I keep calling her Charon because I don't want to call her Karen.
Supplies.
Kind of like Pacific Rim, but without the robots. Kaiju are accepted part of life, as well as handling and cleaning up after them. Yeah, and then your character's he's on the cleanup crew. I'm also keeping up with that chillin' in the dungeon with like level 2 cheats or whatever. I like that show. I'm very much enjoying that.
Scenic view back then. but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on.
You know, there are people named Karen, right? Yeah, but Karen's kind of become
sites like these.
not derogatory, but it's a word for annoying
So our mission remains
people.
unchanged.
And I don't want it to be. I don't find her. She's not a Karen to me.
Every mother crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the crystalline dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
Wait, why did I think there were 5?
It's the capital of the Empire these days.
Which is sad because my mom is nice.
Guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goots.
Oh, I am sorry.
Goots.
Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader.
What in the
Assuming
world?
you've no better
Well, like I can't
ideas.
tell if that's a joke or not.
You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh,
It's just gonna snap her in half.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the
Is this the
Dominion and
first time he
Spotlight
talked?
markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way.
Why do I feel like this is the first time I've heard him?
Risky them footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bucklad. Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Okay.
Understood.
And Gav,
Already on my way, Captain.
be careful.
Aren't I always?
Oh, you're talking about the level 2. Okay, I was wondering about that. I mean, yeah, he's Ryan. That's definitely what the show is about, right? He's 100% an overpowered isekai protag with a harem of female characters. No question. If you don't like that, you will not like chilling in level 2 dungeon, whatever. If you don't like underwater games, you're not gonna like Endless Ocean. If you don't like overpowered isekai protags with harems full of characters, you're not gonna like this chilling in a dungeon level 2 cheat show. And if you don't like JRPGs, you will like this game. Ow, I don't know why that hurt, but that hurt. See, well, Freerun, no, I don't think Freerun's an isekai, though. That's not an isekai. That Freerun, yeah, they were always in that world. Isekai means that they were somehow transported to another world. And in Freerun, they were always there.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, that's basically, doesn't isekai literally mean another world?
I'm glad to hear it.
It usually means that the protag was transported to another world one way or another. Whether they were a regular person transported to a magical world or vice versa. In Devil is a part-timer. Devil is a part-timer, they were in a magical world and they got transported to the regular world. And then in most other shows, they are in a regular world and then they get No Game No Life, Sonic X, yeah, any show like that. Owl House and Amphibia, those are technically isekais. It's a premise that is very often used. It is very often. It's used with a lot of variation, but it is very often used. Digimon, I think technically Digimon counts. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it as a premise. I usually think I just want them to do something interesting with it. That's my only concern. That's why I like Devil as a part-timer. I like that. I like that they came back to a regular world. You know, because normally they go from normal to magical, or they go from magical to like this chilling in the dungeon show he's in a magical world. They just go to another one. Was every Isekai revolves a loser? I'm gonna talk about us. That gets killed by a truck and ends up as an OP Giga Chad that gets all the maidens. And that's the problem. Is that you just described 30 shows. You know, in some way or another, outside of the specifics of being killed by a truck, you just described 30 different shows, and that's why people don't like it. It's a very overused premise. I don't mind it. I think that it's totally fine. It is overused. And if you don't like it, then you just don't like it. That's totally fine. I think my concern is
and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
I don't know. I wonder, like, okay, I have a question for you. Isekai's a modern equivalent of all action shows that wanted to chase after DBZ and rom-coms that went to Tenchi money. You know what I would also say? I would also say, to a lesser extent, this was done. All of those movies that came out after Saving Private Ryan that needed to show you the gray, dismal world of the military. Right? You had, Heart's War and Wind Talkers and all of these movies that showed you this gritty, violent version of the military, because Saving Private Ryan was the first one that said people get their arms blown off. You are rescuing people and they get shot in the head. And that's what happens. And so there was this whole thing where you had all of these military movies that came out, and then they were just like, we're gonna be gruesome. Doesn't that sum up Gundam shows? See, at least with Gundam, it's within the same franchise. Like, if one Gundam show has a lot of similar elements to another Gundam show, okay, but they're Gundam shows. But when you have 9 different mecha shows, I mean, here's what I would say that was taken from Gundam, or that became a standard. The idea that in a mecha anime, there's a lot of emotional trauma going on. I feel like that's very common with Gundam especially. But again, Gundam was the OG. Gundam was one of the ones that did it first. But then, yeah, every time Evangelion, right? There's versions of Macross. Like, if you even if you watch like Macross Plus, like, there's always something. There's so many anime out there where it's mecha, and you are also dealing with the trauma of mecha. Gundam shows his writers internal want to murder teenagers. Yandere was popular in 2000s anime. Future Diary, for example. Yandere character specifically, I think that really came up at some point. Why do they keep making these isekai answers? Because people, and that's the thing, and you're right, people keep watching it. Because it's not, I don't know. I don't think it's too terrible. But again, if you just don't like it, you just don't like it. Here's my question. I have a question for you. What is a genre of, oh my God. What is a genre of anime that is very heavily used? Actually, anything. Let's say anything. It doesn't have to just be anime. That is very heavily used, but you like it. Like, you don't care. You don't care that they make 30 of them. Ow. Aha! Shonen? Slice of life romances. I think it's a mix of the audience is idiots and the studios are shoving it down our throats regarding isekai. We need a new fad badly. This one's been going way too long. See, I don't think it's a mix of the audience is idiots. I think people like what they like, and I don't think I don't think they're wrong for that. I think that saying that the audience is idiots, the audience are idiots, makes it sound like they're incorrect for liking what they like, and I think that everybody's allowed to like that. I think Dragon's kind of right, though. I think that they make it because it sells. You know, people like they like not having to think too much about, and that's not obviously it's not every show, but I think people do like the idea that I don't really, you know, why is this? Because we do it all the time, right? We do it all the time with certain things, with games and this sort of. We don't want to lean into fantasy just for the sake of fantasy. Characters can't just do things, and I feel like I'm slipping into a deep discussion here. Characters don't just do things anymore in anime and video games and in movies, anything. We have to have a reason, and the reason has to make sense. It's not super common for people to just say, yeah, but they're just doing it. No, there has to be a reason for it. And isekai to me is like, it's just a cheap, easy reason to do it.
Really?
Or I'm not going to say cheap. I'm going to say easy. It's just a simple thing. It's like in comic books. You know, that's the whole.
I take it there's danger on the road.
There's the whole thing about like how Stan Lee came up with mutants. Right, every character had to be bitten by a radioactive spider or gamma radiation, or you had to come up with some kooky story for everything. Or you can just say they're mutants and not have to deal with it. So if you have this crazy idea for anime and you want to put the characters in these goofy situations, you can come up with some elaborate reason why all of them are doing it. Or you can just say it's an isekai. And then people say, all right, fine, it's an isekai. And then hilarity ensues. And they're fine with it. And I'm that way too. I'm just like, look, I don't need it to be any more complicated than an isekai happens. If you tell me that in the first 2 minutes, my character gets hit by a truck and they wake up in a magical world, I really don't care. Like, yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Just down the road.
Big fan of, yeah, rom-coms are a good one for me.
But we've not got the skill in arms to.
They're blah 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 because they want me to kill some monsters. I don't think the audience is like, meanwhile, the current week's the new season of Velma season 2. I mean, yeah, Velma season 2. You know,
help us out.
Is in the top 10 shows on Paramount. Would like to get a season 3. Jesus.
If you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll
Magical Girls. I like Magical Girls stuff. I think it's okay, but I don't watch too much of it. My Magical Girl stuff sort of like it started with Cardcaptor Sakura and ended with Madoka Magica. So I can't really say that I'm like crazy into Magical Girl stuff. I don't hate it. I don't really engage in it.
You've clearly got a fine head on those.
Majora's Mask, Link's Awakening, and Phantom Hourglass are all isekais technically.
Now, hoping to make a heavy purse in Boklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with as much as
not
he could carry.
Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass, I think that's the world that he's in.
If we don't find those
I think the issue is action, rom-com, and isekais are popular. It's casuals love it. Yeah, casuals love it. It's fun. Even if it's not super unique, more dedicated anime fans, on the other hand, want more different, which isn't wrong. The market, and I would say that there's plenty of stuff out there. I just find it lazy storytelling at this juncture. I need more meat than it's just it's an isekai and it goes to a video game land where he gets all the girls. That's it. Yeah, and that's and you're fine to think that. Like you're fine to want something a little bit more with a bit more substance on at the very least, Ryan, with a bit more substance on the premise. Because you can say that a show can start out that way and then it can develop very differently. You could have very interesting development with the characters, or it can turn into a pretty standard rom-com. The premise will be thin, but the show could develop. I would argue that Overlord did that. Overlord's so weird because Overlord is technically an isekai, but it's the least isekai show I've probably ever seen. Like the fact that it's an isekai is effectively irrelevant in that show. He like early on he decides that he wants to take over the world because he wants to give the people that are loyal to him a good life. It's almost completely irrelevant to the fact that he was sort of stuck in that world. It doesn't even like the whole isekai aspect of Overworld is like a 99.9% a non-issue in that show. Oh, Phantom Hourglass is a different world. It's a pocket dimension? Oh, I thought Phantom Hourglass was just like the story after Wind Waker. I didn't realize. I forgot that it was. I mean, it's been forever since I played that game. People made a theory that Phantom Hourglass is adult timeline Termina. I hate magical girl stuff. I laughed like a madman when Android 17 attacked those girls while they were transforming during the Tournament of Power. I hated that he got scolded for that because he was right. They were wide open. No, I mean, listen, if I mean, obviously you like or don't like. You know what I never watched? I never sat down and watched it. I never watched the OG. I never did. I have never, original show or Crystal, I have never watched all of Sailor Moon. That's the OG. And I never watched it. My like I said, my magical girl stuff.
We've got guests. These must be our
Whoa.
bandits.
Did that guy just hit me? He crossed me up. Oh my god, you jerk. Hold on, I'm pissed. Hold on. Damn it. Thought I had that one. Ah, come on. Hold on. Oh, wait, there's a caster back there? Really? I let that guy be last. I did that on purpose. So yeah, I never watched Sailor Moon. No, it started with Cardcaptor. I think Cardcaptor Sakura was the first one, and I watched it in the U.S. So I watched it as Cardcaptor. They didn't call it Cardcaptor Sakura here, so I watched that, and then I never really watched any other ones, and then I got I watched a little bit of what was the one with the guys? Earth. It's like High School Earth Defense Force or something. What the hell was it called? It was like a spoof on them. I watched a little bit of that. I never finished it all the way. And then I watched Madoka Magica, and Madoka Magica. I think that show kind of ruined Magical Girl for me because no other show was ever going to be that. And I'm like, this show did it too well. It did everything exactly the way I wanted it to.
That's them dealt with.
No, Marcos, I didn't discuss that. I didn't know. I don't know what to think of that. I'm curious to know if that means Nintendo's going to bring something back. I watched some of Sailor Moon as a kid, but I was mostly into Pokemon. Madoka Magica, you got to watch that, and then you got to watch the movie. There's like 3 movies, but I think the first 2 movies are just retellings of the series, and then the third movie's an original. Tenchi. I love Tenchi. It had a blue-haired girl in it. I mean, that doesn't narrow it down at all. Tenchi, so the blue-haired girl you're talking about is Ryoko. She had right? That was Ryoko, and then the little bunny rabbit, the little bunny cat rabbit thing was Ryo-Oki. If you're thinking, yeah, the one with the spiky hair was Ryoko. There was, because the little sister Sasami, she had blue hair also. Well, there were a few of those. There was Tenchi Universe. There was, I think the first one was just called Tenchi, or Tenchi Muyo. There was Tenchi Muyo in Love. There was Tenchi in Tokyo. Tenchi in Paris, I think, was one. I forget what the difference is. I forget which one was what. I think Sailor Moon is a much more enjoyable show when you watch the uncut version they put out a few years. Well, they did Sailor Moon Crystal. Isn't Crystal a retelling of the whole show? Yeah, there were a lot of Tenchi. Most of them were kind of the same. I think Universe and Tenchi Muyo, I think, were sort of similar. Crystal was more manga accurate. It's not as good because the manga is very overrated. I meant the uncut and faithfully translated version of the... Okay. Yeah, but I never watched a ton of that. Yeah, I think... But for my other question, I feel like rom-coms lately, rom-coms have been something that I'm very much enjoying. And that's what... Again, that's one of those situations where I think it's silly, right? Here's the thing. Rom-coms are schlock. It's sort of like you said, like isekai, it's just kind of a lazy way to get your character into a goofy situation. I think rom-coms are kind of the same way. There's always some nonsense that happens to your rom-com protag that puts them in a goofy situation. But I really don't care. I have fun with the characters. I think it's interesting, and there's always something silly, and that's really all I care about. I don't need it to be hyper realistic for what happens. I think that's why.
Fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
Cabbages.
You've done your part.
I think that's one of the reasons I connect with anime better than with something like live action or even something like this where it tries to be super a bit more realistic. Let's say not super realistic, but the disconnect makes it easier for me to explain nonsense. When I watch a live action thing, if I'm supposed to take the story somewhat seriously, it's harder for me to create a disconnect where I don't question silliness. Anime, I can do that just fine. I have no matter what kind of anime unless you're showing me like Nana, for instance, unless you're showing me something like that or Carol and Tuesday, as long as you're not showing me something that is meant to be realistic, I can usually handle some silly stuff. I can throw it. It's fine to sort of have in there. Yeah, Western stuff loves unwilling to talk drama. Yeah, Western shows. We were talking about that earlier. Like, Western shows are terrible with that. Like, just say what's on your mind. I get that in real life there'd be this long window where you can't say anything or you're worried about saying something, but I got 22 minutes here. Could you move it along? Tenchi has like 3 or 4 separate. Yeah, Tenchi has I thought you said 3 or 4. I thought it was like 5 or 6 actually. At least in anime, there's a lot of wait I can explain. Character storms off before explanation. Than in Western rom-com stuff. Yeah, which I hate. I can't stand that personally. We were talking about that earlier. I don't like that stuff at all. The whole we're spending the entire episode trying to solve a problem that wouldn't have been a problem if you had said it in the first 2 minutes. I'm so tired of that.
Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold these. The path continues on the other side.
Yeah, because it's Tenchi Muyo. I could have sworn there was one that was just called Tenchi. There's Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Universe, Tenchi Muyo in Love, Tenchi in Paris. Or is it Paris or Tokyo? Or is there one Paris and one Tokyo? And I thought they were all separate. Come on, it's right through there. You can't climb there? Tenchi in Tokyo. Yeah, I don't know why I thought there was a Paris and then... Can you give me a list? Now I'm going crazy. I'm sorry. Can you give me a list? Like, what are all the Tenchi shows and well, I think it's just shows, right? All right, we're good. That's a series I wouldn't mind going through again, because the one that I'm thinking, the one that I have on DVD, I think I have Tenchi Universe, and I think that one's only like 13 or 16 episodes. That one's relatively short. Tenchi Universe, Tenchi in Tokyo, GXP, that's what I was thinking of. And AI Tenchi Muyo, so that's the one that I don't have. So Tenchi Universe, why? Okay, so Tenchi Muyo is probably what I was thinking of when I was thinking of GXP. So Tenchi Universe, Tenchi Tokyo, Muyo, GXP, AI Tenchi Muyo. And then Tenchi the movie. So there were movies. Okay, so In Love was a movie. I was thinking that was another show. In Love and movie 1 and 2, Daughter of Darkness, and Tenchi Forever the movie. All right, so that's what I was thinking of. So it looks like 4 universes, and I don't know if the movies are separate universes or not. Side chat is the shows by timeline. Somewhere. It's not in there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, those were good. I like those shows. I wouldn't mind going through. I put it in the. Am I in the right server? I'm in the right server. Is it follower form? That's not follower form. Oh, not you, Dragoon. Yeah, you might not have put it in the right server there. Yeah, there's nothing in Discord. I was in Side Chat 1. Side Chat 1 and 2 don't have anything. The last thing is Ronan's comment about Season Pass. In other anime news, Speed Racer is coming to streaming services next month. They didn't say which ones yet, but that it's coming. Is it? You just kind of answered my question there. I was gonna ask if it was the OG. How many Speed Racer shows were there? Were there more than one after the OG show?
So this is Zemeckis.
Robert Zemeckis.
He's
even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
And when the odds are against us,
Man
dangerous
was
work.
overcome by avarice
Bet your
and
life
challenged
Speed
the
Racer.
gods in a bid to win their power.
We'll see it through.
The final battle took place here.
Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer,
Or so the
go
legend
Speed
goes.
Racer, go.
If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
It's OG with the silly English dub as well as a
gods
correct
emerged
Japanese
victorious.
sub.
And punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse.
Ah, wait.
The dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
Yeah, we have those in Niagara, and people go there all the time to see it.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us.
Got to keep your wits about you.
Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
So in their lore, the dominants and the bearers were considered a curse, and you never understood why. When realistically, the reason why is because you created a ruling class system. You created people who would see themselves better than everybody else, and the people who weren't
Surrendered the throne to
would see
Olivier.
them as a threat. You created a divide between society.
Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sambre.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it. And I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen.
Yeah, I love the Speed Racer movie.
Ere long,
I love
the
that movie.
Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then Valisthea. All shall bow before their emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The emperor whom I gladly serve.
Oh, is that why he made him emperor? So that he could elevate himself higher? This is Ozai all over again. He made Azula what do you call it? Fire Lord, so that he could be what did he call himself? The Fire Phoenix? You'd really be doing everybody a favor if you killed him, and no one's gonna blame you. Well, they're gonna blame you, but they're not gonna be mad at you for it. Phoenix King, that's what it was.
Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces.
Or just don't.
It is time to show the world the true power of Sambrek.
Or just don't,
Father.
Kill him. If you kill everybody in the room, nobody knows what happens. I'm just saying.
I find you much changed.
Oh, Ozai Birdman, Ace Attorney at Law.
The path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another?
Oh, he's calling him out.
Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths.
Oh, so you're the one to
regarding
kill.
The nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
Just kill them.
Trust the words of this traitress. She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sambrek, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
You know what's bad? There is another answer here. Like, obviously he's not going to kill them, right? That would suck.
The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring.
Come on, Joffrey, let's
I'm
go.
hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
I mean, the other answer is he just leaves.
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough.
You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
Brackadoom! So, the other answer here is he leaves, right? Because his men aren't going to go to war without him. They view him as like the pillar of their strength, and if he leaves, they're not going to want to go to war.
We just need to hug the coast.
This kingdom won't be able to do what it's trying to do. First of all, if the soldiers don't want to fight, but second off, they need him. They need his strength in order to achieve their goals. It's not like he's leaving the throne behind because he just found out that theoretically he's never going to have the throne. So if he were to just abandon the kingdom right now, he doesn't want to abandon his kingdom and his people. The problem is the kingdom that he is trying to defend is no more. Like, you could argue that, like he said, you know, the king's words aren't his, and is this the will of Ultima and stuff. So the thing that he's leaving is already sort of dead. You know, and I get that he wants to protect them, but there's a point where you have to, you know, I will always question the idea of, and I know that you can't really know what you're going to do in that situation, but I question the idea of, I don't want to leave my people because they're going to suffer, but if I stay and I do this thing, I'm going to make a lot more people suffer. Right, because again, he's not being told to go out there and negotiate. He's being told to go out there and kill people. So it just feels like if he just left, the hole that his leaving fills stops the plan. You know what I mean? If somebody told me to go and do something horrible and I didn't want that horrible thing to happen, me removing myself from a situation stops the horrible thing. And again, I don't know that it would work or not work, but it just feels like he's following and not even trying. And it's like, I make the joke, like, just kill him and no one will care. Obviously, people will care, and that would be a catastrophe. But in this situation, if he just ran off, hell, he could fake his own death. Right? You go out there, you have a battle, something happened. Oh, no, he died. Uh-oh. And that's it. You're removing stop you doing the horrible thing, but you're not but not the horrible thing still happening. But you do potentially stop the horrible. That's my point, is that you do potentially stop the horrible thing from happening, because there's a good chance that the only way the horrible thing happens is because of the strength that you lend to it. You know, do they think they would win battles without him? They count on him. Like, she just blew smoke up his ass about how important it is that he serves. So would they even win? Would the soldiers even fight? We had that cutscene earlier in one of the earlier parts where they were saying, you know, we'll follow you in the battle and we believe in your strength, and it's like, so would they even fight without him there? Would his removal change all of that? And we don't know, but he's not even trying. It's just, I don't want to kill everybody, but I'm going to. Like, kind of losing me on that one. Yeah, in this case, he's the horrible thing, in a way.
His troops are well trained and increasingly.
It's more about the kingdom itself, which is what they want, which is why they want him at the front line so he can't interfere. So if he left and they couldn't control him, that would mean they can't manipulate. He knows he's being manipulated. So why not just leave when they to where they can't manipulate you? And obviously I know why, because it's a video game and it's a story and they're trying to tell you the story. But I always get annoyed with stories like this. This is what always bothers me about that. It's just like, you know that what you're doing is going to hurt a lot of people, and you're saying that you don't want to hurt a lot of people, and there's a good chance that if you leave, a lot of people don't get hurt. But you're literally not doing the one thing that you know would fix the problem. Or could potentially fix the problem. If he left, he would still be in the same position, but without the power to do anything from the inside. But what's he doing? What is he doing on the inside? That's my point, is that if I felt like he was making moves to make sure that something like some sort of countermeasures were being taken into regard, or that they were being set up, I would say, all right, that's why he's staying. But he's not doing anything. He sits there, he calls out the king multiple times. He, it says that he's Ultima or whatever, and then he's just gonna go and be part of the fight anyway. Like, come on, man. What are you doing here?
And they're all making for the
Like, to be fair, we also didn't have a moment that dramatic. So this could be the turning point where he is starting to do something. But up until now, he's just been doing what he was told. Even though he acknowledges that what I'm being told is terrible. Yeah, but he thinks being there is still the right thing to do out of who he loves, out of how he loves his father at the end. But it's not even. I don't know. Because now he's officially called him out and said, "I don't even think that it's you." Ah. Oh my God, that was sick. Him leaving the kingdom to go uncontrolled full while being on the front line, he can minimize the impact, but he won't though, will he? Like, do we have evidence that while he's been on the front lines, he's been not killing people? And again, the soldiers go to the front line because he's there. That's why he minimizes the impact of combat if he doesn't show up, because there's a good chance his soldiers don't go there. Like, we had a cutscene about that. We had a cutscene where his soldiers were saying something like that. Doesn't Star Wars also do this? How so? Like who? Like, legitimately asking. Doesn't the king have ultimate? Well, that's what he's saying. That he just finally accused him of that.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
All right.
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his
Where's
supplies.
Goody boy? Come on, Goody.
I say he'll have finished by now.
Chocobo stand. What? Porters for hire. Okay.
If they brought any coin with them, we'd be rich.
The wheel and the crescent. Okay. No, was this no bearers in the snug? Oh, we're in one of those towns. Like Jedi Council, you don't make me wrong. Because oh, you thought? Well, no, it's a bit different because they, they didn't realize. Oh, excuse me. They didn't realize it was going to go that bad. I mean, they did sort of like grave training. I see in the future. But I don't think I don't think they realized it was going to be that bad, right? Then again, I have a feeling that even they weren't. And plus, they also kind of thought he was going to be the savior, right? Like, some people thought he was the savior. Some people thought he was going to be a problem. And I just don't think anybody really realized. Like, you're not wrong in that if you make different steps and everything is better. But I don't think anybody realized how bad that was going to be.
From across the water.
Yeah, AGM. I mean, that's entirely possible. It's just that he's not in it. He's waiting for, like, he keeps hoping that everything's gonna be okay. And I feel like this might have been the turning point. This might have been the one where because he finally called out the king for Ultima. He finally, he's got the kid emperor now that he's got to deal with. He confronted what's her face. So I feel like this could be the turn. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see him, he's helping us. Right, he pops up out of nowhere and says, "Listen, this is what's happening," and tells us what's going on. The idea is feeling and Thea's part. Probably not honorable. Let him do it. Also, you're not wrong. So far, the game keeps showing him this is bad. What we do. It's such a shame. It's bad. Anything.
Officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for
No, that's fine, Kia.
inspection.
Looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
Bear in mind, talking about Star Wars is something we've watched tons. It's not like I watched Star Wars twice and have all these opinions. I've watched those movies 100 times.
Find good, shall we?
Deanna's a mix of Zuko and Azula, much like how King is Ozai all over again. So this is all just Avatar. This whole thing is this is Shyamalan's Avatar if it was good. Excuse me? I want you to say that again, please.
I'll take the large one.
Yeah, he's right here.
An excellent choice.
Ah, Goot. There you are.
Clive, I'm so sorry. Don't tell Nan, will you?
Slow down, Goot. Just tell us what happened.
It's betrayed us, Pass. It's gone.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that balance if that's what that meant.
We won't even be able to get through the flipping checkpoint.
Language,
Do you
Goots.
remember when you last saw it?
It was in my pocket a minute ago. Then a band bumped into me and...
There we go.
You don't think that they might have nicked it, do you?
It wouldn't surprise me. A busy market like this is prime territory for pickpockets.
So, to get the pass back, we need to find this child.
Time to do quest for someone to get a badge. Oh, brother.
I know where. I've got a pal in Bocklad who might be able to help us. No one knows more about what goes on round here than she does.
Where do we find her?
She's the owner of the Crimson Caravans, up that way. Sign's got a red chocobo on it.
He loves
No
his red
time like the
chocobos.
present.
You two go on ahead. I'm gonna check the rest of my stuff, make sure no else is missing.
All right. We'll meet you there.
Time to do quest for someone to get a badge so you can make the progress now, Dragoon, I have to ask. In the time that I'll be doing this side quest here, are there mini games? Have you been to UK? Something is bound to get nicked. Whee! Oh, red chocobo sign, please. Here we go.
Looking to hire a coach? It's 10 million for a two-birder to the Crystalline Dominion. Take it or leave it.
Million?
We're not here for that.
Then I bid you good day.
Wait! Just don't go,
Oh,
El.
wait, why? Okay.
He's me mate.
As I live and breathe. Goots, what are you doing back in
Hey,
Bocklad?
Mr. Sonic. So pickup trucks have metal covering on them?
I gather Lady Karen didn't send you.
When did my Steam library start to actually have size? What do you mean size? Like you just got a lot of games, or
So
are they
what
telling you the
trouble have
file
got
sizes
yourself
now?
into this time?
It's me trader's pass. It got stolen. By a little bairn.
Of all the... You're the size of a marble. Honestly. Ugh.
But your breath is much better.
It's told us that you know the markets well. Might you have an idea which little bairn could have done this?
We don't intend to punish them. We just need our pass back. Then we can be on our way.
We don't intend to punish them.
I see. So neither of you has a trader's pass either.
Nope, he had all of ours.
Not that anyone would take you
Oh,
for
backlog.
traders.
For noticing that, I have to
suppose
scroll my
that's
library
why
to
you
see
came
it.
to me, correct? Now, I can't say for sure who took your pass, but I suspect I know why they did it. Let me explain.
They can sell it for money. what more excuse do I need? They're thieves. They steal things to make money. I really don't need any more than that.
Ever since the Fist marched on the Dominion, The Republic has been
Pickup trucks with
clamping
metal
down on
covering to
any
stop people from
commerce
stealing what's in the back.
and
Pickup trucks with metal covering to
with
stop people from
commerce
stealing
that
what's in the
might
back. We have
aid the
those too.
Empire more
They
than
don't come
divert.
standard. It's like a
Which
feature, but
means traders'
yeah, we have
passes
those.
have gone from being merely a way of easing one's progress to being essential. If
Are they
wish to
flat
cross
across the
border
top,
at all.
or is it like the
And
caps?
with demand outstripping supply, they've become a precious commodity, leading some to seek
You also
to
have
acquire them
different
by less than
truck laws than we have over here. We have terrible
Changeable
truck
stealing
laws over
passes
here.
to sell on the black market.
Yes and no.
They
Passes
cut to
are
another
inscribed
explanation, even
with
though
the
it was just
names of
continuing.
their
I didn't
owners.
even notice that,
And
to be
yet
honest with
none
you.
of the victims' names have appeared on the register of those passing through.
I have to watch the
checkpoint.
VOD. Flat across the top, I believe.
That someone is doctoring the stolen passes. The same someone who is encouraging the children to steal them. And the same someone who has Goots's pass, no doubt. Whoever they are, they're ruining the livelihoods of honest merchants, which is why we've decided to take a stand. Will you stand with us? You want to get your pass back?
Yeah, I don't
And
really have a
we want
choice
to
here.
ensure that no more are stolen. Catch whoever's behind it all, and 2 birds shall be slain with a single stone.
2 birds and a single stone. This sounds like a mini game. Wait a minute.
Getting to the Crystalline Dominion Goods.
I'm kidding.
They won't let you in if you're not with the caravan. It's that, I don't know, try swimming across the strait. But the guards will definitely spot you if you try and do that. Like, we don't want to get spotted, right?
So either we find the people who took the pass.
This interaction, I think, is the only time to do this. They did it like 2 or 3 times in a row and nowhere else in the game.
All right. We'll help.
Thank you, kind.
2 birds, 1 stone.
But I don't know your name. Eloise at your service.
Clive.
A pleasure doing business with you, Clive.
Sid. Your name is Sid. Why does he flip-flop? I thought he was supposed to be Sid the whole time to keep his Clive knowledge a secret. She looks familiar, too. Like, IRL
The
familiar.
proprietor of the furniture makers by the coach stop is spearheading the search. Wear that, and he will know you for a friend. I suggest that you speak with him first.
I'm telling you.
Understood.
All these little buttons and things that they give me to wear so that other people will recognize me, I'm going to look like a TGI Fridays employee by the end of this game. Oh, he isn't keeping the Clive thing a secret, just the legend of Sid. Oh, see, I thought, I was under the impression that he was keeping the Sid thing alive and using that to hide his Clive, to hide the fact that Clive is alive. That way.
Out of my sight, wretch.
How about Clid? I mean, if that's the case, where's Scythe? He was just going to because his name is a symbol for the people. But yeah, but that's why. But if the name is a symbol for the people, he's not being Clive everywhere. Like, I wasn't sure. Yeah, that was my thinking. Was just like he was like Clive keeps the secret, thriving, and people find strength in that. But then, if you steal my stuff, I'm gonna annihilate you. All right, you hear me? You hear me? Look at me. Look at me. Right? I want you to look me in the eye. All right? You ready? I will destroy you if you try and pick my pocket. Just okay.
Jug of snakes.
Are you the furniture maker?
Looking for something.
We're asking us for a while. It's time to skip. He introduced himself as Sid, and then suddenly, he just kind of stopped doing it.
Then I expect you want to know more.
If I was playing Red Dead 2, there's a good chance that kid might have been hurt right now. Actually, no. I think you lose the game instantly if you do that. Call of Duty did that.
Harder to watch your back, see?
Call of Duty did that, where if you shoot like in the missions, if you shoot, I know the more recent ones did it, where if you shoot the kids, if you shoot a kid during a mission, it registers as a loss. Like you immediately lose the mission, which I kind of like. I kind of dig that.
The fishmonger round by the gate's been trying to track down the children involved. You should go and have a word with her.
I had to look at what happened. Yeah. Kids pickpocket you, and you're not allowed to hurt children. They're literally invincible no matter what you do. Sounds like real kids. I can't believe they named the crime after Pikmin. Pickpocket. Up to the desert town, in fact, he keeps introducing himself as Sid, and then it's Clive.
Finest earthenware from the free cities, all but unbreakable. Come taste
My job is hosting a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament at the end of the month. First place gets $600 cash. They're not going to pay you in chips, are they? That sounds cool. Marcos, we'll have to do a Mario Kart Community Day so you can practice.
Fish for sale, fresh sorted and smoked. Can I interest you?
I'm right here.
Ah, sorry. Message from Eloise, is it?
She's asked me to help her. To help you find the pickpockets.
Is that so? Suppose I better tell you what I know then. For one,
Actually, it's Australian money, which I think are called dollary
all the
dues.
traders say the children who stole their passes were dirty, dressed in rags.
Well, I
Street
mean,
urchins, by
yeah.
the sound of it. We get a lot around here.
Orphans from
Yeah,
the wars.
good luck.
A few, perhaps. You saw the refugees gathered by the entranceway?
Dingo Bucks.
They're all looking for a new start in the Dominion and beyond. Some of them take it as an opportunity to rid themselves of unwanted baggage.
The shame of it.
Whoever's behind this would have to have made themselves known to the children at some point.
And so should we.
You should start with the children around here, then. I doubt they're the ones involved, but they might have heard something.
It's worth a try.
Oh, wait, I might have to talk to that kid I threatened. Oh, no, wait. Let's speak with the children.
Tight-fisted.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask you something?
Can't stop you.
I was just wondering if anyone has asked you to do anything.
Is there a minigame?
How's
No,
it
unless
all?
killing is a minigame. Well, you know, they're smaller, so probably.
Grown-ups ever ask us to do is shut up and go away. So guess what I'm about to tell you to do?
Sorry. I'll leave you alone.
Is it bad that I don't hate this kid? You know what it reminds me of? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Have you ever seen that clip?
Do you have a moment?
What do you want?
What I want is to...
Yeah, she kind of walked into that one.
like you to pickpockets.
I don't know. Nobody's asked me.
That's an old meme, too.
Pockets. Do you get paid for it?
No, you get in trouble for it. So if they come calling, you know what to tell them.
I mean, you shouldn't hate kids, so no. To be fair, if I ever don't like children, it's probably because their parents are doing a piss poor job. Somewhere along the way, the parents are probably at fault for little kids anyway.
Excuse me.
What do you want? I don't have any money.
It's all right. We're not going to hurt you. We just want to talk.
What about?
We've heard that some very bad people are making children like you steal from travelers. We need to know who's behind it so we can stop them.
I don't know much about it, really. But my friend, Honza, he said he got a job doing something dangerous.
Sounds promising.
We need to find him and ask.
Watch, he's like an 8-year-old working on an oil rig.
He's usually by the tents outside town.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
He got a job on a boat for deadliest catch. It's like, I don't pick pockets. They said you were doing something dangerous. Yeah, have you not seen that show?
Peaches and pears, beets and peas.
I strongly dislike anyone who deserves it, regardless of it. You know, but then that comes back to the part earlier in the game with the little kid that was talking about the person like they were a pet. It's like, you know, they also kind of learned that behavior, so you're never really sure how you're supposed to feel.
Hope he's still nearby.
Hungry.
Meow. Yeah, I didn't say hate. Hate's a strong
That
word.
big fat donkey
Yeah, that's
with
true.
easy
Yeah, I
pickings.
could not like them, but I don't
You
hate
wouldn't
them.
have noticed if we robbed his boots off him.
Yeah. Wish we hadn't handed over the pass, though. Could use one of those things to get out of this dump.
Clive, you can kill them all in one swing. I mean, don't do that. You could threaten to kill them all in one swing.
Would they now?
Threaten. Threaten
Perhaps you'd like to introduce
only.
us to these charming characters.
Shit, we're in trouble now.
Language.
What do we do?
You two get caught if you want. I'm off.
Hunter, where are you going?
Kill one, send a message.
Jill, you watch these two. I'm going after him.
Ah, God, it is a mini game. Here we go.
You can't have gone far.
Oh, it's not a mini game. Come on. Get on your chocobo, Clive. Or at least run. Act like you want to be there.
Did you see a boy run past? He stole something from
Boop, boo, doo, 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 as you run around to catch him.
Thank you.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about sending a message. Where did he go? Is he here? Oh. They wouldn't let me draw my sword.
It's all right, Hansa. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to ask you some questions.
And then hurt you.
Fine. Not like I've got a choice.
I'm looking for the people who are making you steal for them. Who are they?
Call themselves the Carstone.
Yeah, it's a Final Fantasy game. I absolutely have belts on me.
It doesn't come for free. Didn't come at all half the time before I started buzzing for them. You know, if I didn't do it, they'd just pick on someone else. Someone they could push around easier.
Hansa.
You found him then?
Jill. Where are the other two?
Eloise is watching over them. She sent Goots and I to look for you.
You're him.
It's Kingdom Hearts or Guilty Gear. Oh, it's Final Fantasy.
If that's what you're after. I gave it to the Carstone.
I would
Whatever you do to me, I can't get it back.
I would recommend you to Lulu from Final Fantasy X. She's got all the belts. Or Rufus's new outfit in Rebirth.
Cowards. You will not force another child to do your bidding.
Wait, we're not...
Don't hurt him.
Oh, he had the belts in Remake too? Oh, okay, yeah.
Mistake. We're on the same side.
Like hell we are.
I don't know. I didn't remember the belt skirt in Remake.
That brooch. Where did you get it?
I stole it from one of these kids. Look at these guys.
Master Theo.
Goots.
Yeah, don't hurt him. I'll kill him painlessly.
Unless you're the ones my sister was talking about.
Your sister?
As it cut away, that it felt like graphically something happened there.
Eloise didn't tell us she had a brother.
And why would she?
Yeah, I mean, it's
back and a blade.
not really going to come up in conversation.
Theodore, at your service. Sorry about before.
Theodore, what do you know of the cast stones?
Vultures who have made Boklad their
So,
hunting ground.
let me
They
ask
prey
you
on
a
the
question
desperate,
here.
Stealing from those with gil,
Let me,
and those
let
without it into joining their flock.
me bring
I've
something
been
up
looking
here
into
really
their
quickly.
activities in hope of sparing the refugees any further hardship.
Are there any ugly people in
But
this
it
game?
seems they've
Or
already
is
stooped
everybody
even lower than
beautiful?
I'd feared.
Everybody's beautiful in their own way.
Don't blame him
in
for
this
what
game.
they made him do.
Right?
If he and his friends
Even
hadn't agreed
even
to
old
work
Goots
for the
there.
stones, some other poor souls would have.
Right? Goose is a handsome fellow.
Most likely.
Large. In
Clive.
charge, sort of. When he's not getting his
Sisters
pockets
asked you
picked.
to help, but then
Is everybody just beautiful in this game?
we all want
Holy
the same
smokes.
thing.
Oh my god, it just I didn't realize it was going to end the quest. So the audio dropping off was just very weird. Yeah, I mean, like, there's some that aren't my type, right? Goots here, not exactly my type. But I would argue that he's a strapping large lad that someone would look at and say, that fella's for me. I'm not a fleshcloth. Kupko has an acquired taste. Yeah, Kupko was an acquired taste, right? You know? The problem with him is that if you're, you know, depending on what you're into, I mean, you're not getting handy from him. That's just probably not going to happen. Ultima, yeah, I mean, face-wise, Ultima's got something going on, but the 4 arms thing is kind of working for him. But I heard he was rock hard. I mean, that's true too, though. Yeah. Joshua kept the baby face, so no thanks. Yeah, he's got the baby face. I'm not a big fan of that, so maybe that's... There you go. The hell, buddy? He's like snorting up a hairball or something. Sage down here. I just heard this loud noise. Where am I going here? System? The hell are you guys talking about? Alright, so we're gonna save. Yeah, Torgal's the only S tier character. Torgal's a double S. Come on, Clive's an S tier. Torgal's a double S. We're doing Final Fantasy hot or not. Apparently everybody in this game is just hot. Hold on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to save again. Okay. Because that is going to do it for today. I made some decent progress there. For like tomorrow, I don't know what's happening tomorrow, to be honest with you. Given some of the mods I've seen around people, I've seen people make in 14 around Clive and Torgal a lot find both hot. That is... that's quite concerning. That is, I don't know how concerned I should be, but it's quite concerning. Final Fantasy Smash or Pass. It's exactly what you're thinking. Oh no. There is a disturbing side to 14. Alrighty, give me a second here. Let me figure out where we're going. I think I mentioned this before. Was this just a demo? Hang on a second. I forget if this was a demo. So this was the demo. So there was a game that I had wanted to play. I only have the demo for it, and I don't know. I haven't seen reviews for the game itself. It's like a Japanese speech game where you're supposed to learn. It's supposed to help you learn hiragana. It has a demo on Steam. I think it's like an RPG with puzzle elements, but the puzzle elements are related to hiragana characters. So I'm back into like I'm trying to learn Japanese again. So I'm going through my textbook and I am doing it. I'm going through my textbook. You know what I just downloaded again? Duolingo. I went back to Duolingo and I said, because Duolingo, I had a problem, like when I used Duolingo years ago, I had a problem with it because it doesn't really explain a lot of things. Like for anybody that's familiar with Japanese, there's like the hiragana characters, and then there's another alphabet called katakana, which is you use that to spell foreign words, but it has all the same letters. It's just, or the same characters. But they correspond to similar sounds, right? So it's sort of a weird thing. Duolingo just started at some point switching in between them, and it didn't really explain any of it. So I downloaded it now, and I'm like, you know what? I have the answers to a lot of these questions, so I should be able to use it just fine. they added a ton of stuff. They added like a test mode. They added this sort of kind of like mini games, like the games that are always there for you to learn vocabulary, but for you to learn the letters. Like you draw the letters out, you draw the characters out, and you try to memorize them. So I'm going through all of that stuff. But there was this game that came out for Steam, and it's supposed to help you do that too. There's a demo for it. So I wanted to play the demo at some point. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I should be able to go live early. If we go live early enough, I'm going to play Final Fantasy 16. But if not, if we have to do a shorter stream tomorrow, I might actually play that game tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Past the Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. Yeah, you probably would have done Dungeon 6 early. If you did Misery Mire, you did that early, which is always a smart thing to do. You should always do Misery Mire early. But yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll let you know on Twitter whether or not I'm going to be starting early or later. If I start early, we'll play Final Fantasy 16. If we start later, I think I might want to try this Japanese demo game thingy. So we'll see what happens with that. For right now, though, I'll probably send you back there. I'll probably send you back here. We went here. I think we went here Tuesday. Oh, see, oh yeah, what's this? What's this? Hold on. What's this link here? Okay. This Lilac. Please tell me. I don't think it is, but I just need you to confirm that is not edited. I just need to see you say that is not edited and that's legitimately there. That's it. I if you told me that was an edit, I would believe you. If you told me that was something that somebody did on purpose. Oh, hold on. All right, sorry about that. I got a important phone call that I got to take. All right, so I'm gonna send you to Chris Teal. I gotta wrap it up really, really fast. But I will. I'll message on Twitter and let you know what I'm gonna be doing. But thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in, for hanging out. Don't forget to drink your mask, wear your water, social distance whenever possible. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and I will see you all tomorrow.